All right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We're back today. We're playing more Call of Cthulhu. We're continuing our Eternal Lies campaign. We are in the scorching deserts of Ethiopia, and we found a long lost UCLA professor last time around who's going to teach Patrick how to never masturbate again. So that's what this episode is going to be about. Y'all ready?
Oh, okay. That was not
Y'all good? Look at that.
I was trying to imagine where you're going to go in the openings, and that was not what I was imagining.
That was better than anything I could hope for.
You guys can't see my face.
I was muted because I would have blown everyone's ears out with how loud I laughed.
Can't do it anymore, man. Oh my God. Sorry. Gotta be careful.
That was a hag's cackle.
I mean, what are the perks of having a mouth on your arm if you can't, you know? Like,
whoa, hey, that's not masturbation anymore. That's something else entirely.
It is if it's your own mouth, I think.
What?
But
it's not his mouth.
His own mouth.
We talked about that last time. We don't know if it's his.
It still counts as his.
Stranger on a whole other level.
There's some extra dimensional deity who's like, what is happening? This isn't right. Oh, goodness.
I mean, there's California, and you know, it's kind of the things that go on with the California mouths. Like it, you know.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, I'm like, there's California, like just the state. Melissa's got some things to say on California. Let me tell you about Gavin Newsom. Anyhow. But yeah, there you go.
Chat. Appreciate it, Mark.
Oh, thanks, man. He had an awesome session. He's going, I think, is it Hong Kong? I think it's Hong Kong, right? In masking here.
Shanghai?
The Shanghai? I couldn't remember which city it was. It's one of the, there you go. Awesome. Very cool. I hope your ventures into that area of the world go better for your players than it did for ours. Because when we were in Bangkok, I know a different place, but when we were in Bangkok, things got dangerous.
Very quickly. But we did landscape of problems.
Yeah. We grew the party by a couple mouths, which is cool. And then Shyma was just like, I don't want this anymore, and just cut it off and threw it away. Cast it aside. Yeah,
smart.
So how you guys feeling? It was a pretty big lore dump. Did anyone do any homework over the past week? Anyone do some reading? Look at your clues. Look at all your past handouts.
Obsessively.
We did have a good 20-minute post-stream conversation about some review of Savitre's notes and which one did we think went better or not. There was a lot of that post-stream last up.
It was a good precursor to my week because I spent the next 3 days just poring over everything like that Charlie gif and Always Sunny.
Nice. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, mine wasn't the pouring over as much. Mine was more so the obsessive ranting at Gabriel.
The true identity of the liar from beyond is Pepe Silva. That's who it is. Sylvia. Sorry. Oh goodness. It's all coming back. I hope you all long do you watch It's Always Sunny, because that's really going to inform the rest of the campaign. Oh.
Awkward.
Did you watch Tusk yet? We told him on Thursday.
Version of Always Sunny.
No, I've got time.
Okay, we told him on Thursday he has to watch Tusk. No one say anything. And he's going to debrief us at the start of our Swords of the Serpentine session next week about his thoughts on Tusk. I actually put the hand down.
Masterpiece that it is.
Hold it in. Poker face.
That's what I was doing. I had to physically stop myself.
Yeah. You know what he's going to be like? Yeah, it's okay. That's what I was going to say. It's okay.
Yeah, so this little column in the layout gives cinematic feedback along those lines.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was okay. All right. Melissa has never had a strong opinion on a movie or television show ever. It's never like, oh my God, that was so good. It's never, oh my God, that was so bad. It's always like,
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was all right.
It was all right.
I liked it.
It's okay. It's all right. Drives me insane.
Our next watch party will be The Room after Tusk.
Long, have you seen the Room?
No, I've seen like a clip or two, I think.
Okay, you got to watch that before next Call of Cthulhu, and then we'll start next session with you debriefing us on your thoughts on the room.
Movies in 1 week. That's more than he watches in a year.
Yes.
We've scheduled Long's upcoming week for him.
It's okay, because I like this idea. I'm gonna start giving out homework. See, I'm not teaching right now, so I have to figure out where I got to give the homework. I'm not used to it. That's what I'm gonna do. Everyone's got homework assignments now.
Homework withdrawals.
Well, y'all ready to get going? We ready to start? Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm very disappointed in all of you because last episode was episode 50 and no one died. Ashley, you tried, and I appreciated that. The rest of you, I thought you looked a little too hard for Bev, and maybe if you would have just taken your time, she might have we just might never found her. That would have been it. And we'd always wonder. Got Ashley again. Damn, girl.
It's twice already.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Last time around, we began mid-sandstorm. As the previous episode, we ended on a sandstorm. We saw Will, Jerome. They were able to find cover in these shallow cuts in the rock. Shyma, you had fallen down a ridge after chasing a vision of Pastor Wood, but you were able to use some of the rocks at the base of that ridge to actually block some of the wind and the sand from hitting you. Patrick, Marie, you tried to use camels at one point to shield yourselves. That did not work out well for Marie, as hers bolted. And she's the one, by the way, who actually has skill in animal handling. Hers bolted away, and then she got blasted with sand and started to choke on it, literally choke and suffocate. Bev, you were trapped in a pit. Dozens of scorpions were pouring out of the walls. You nearly escaped at one point by doing a really awesome like stick maneuver and pulling yourself up, but then the stick snapped as you critically failed. And you fell back down. You were stung by scorpions and you were buried alive. It looked really bad for you for a little while. You did, however, get fairly lucky. Your friends, after the storm abated, started looking for you. They found you. And as they dug you out, you were still alive because you spent all your freaking luck. But you have like a broken arm, I think we decided upon, several scorpion stings, and you were kind of paralyzed for a bit as some of the venom was still in you for a little while. As the venom sort of moves out of your system, you're getting more and more of your feeling back. It's really just the broken arm that's going to linger as your major wound. The rest of you pushed on, or at least the investigators, all of you, your whole team pushed on. Will, eventually, at one point, you spied a figure in black that was ascending a rock behind you, and that's kind of what propelled you all to continue to move forward. Days passed as you all are heading westward, and there's some slightly more elevated locations. Shyma, you noticed these carved pilasters in a rock face, and when you inspected them, you found that there was like a cave opening. It was kind of cool air, and then started playing tricks on some of your minds. Marie, you saw a second version of yourself with a weird mouth and kind of like watched it wander into the cave. Bev, you saw this like storm front, this wave of papers and sand sort of descending on the position. Shyma, you heard the voice of your mom. And you all started the race inside. The tunnels were very circuitous, difficult to sort of navigate. There's all sorts of these old drawings and such that were on the walls here and there. Multiple tunnels eventually ended at this campsite, and that is where you met George Ayers, the George Ayers, who is a member of Ramon Echeverria's inner circle at a certain point in Los Angeles, but who had left for Ethiopia to sort of track down some research, right? And you also notice he had a large calcified mouth on his torso. Shyma and Patrick both got theirs on appendages. His grew on his actual torso, which was meant that cutting it out was probably not going to work the way it did for Shyma, at least temporarily. We'll see. And so this you kind of talked to him for a bit. He told you a little bit about his experiences with Ramon Echeverria. And also about like the layers and layers of lies, how he kind of started to suspect something, that Echeverria kind of brought him in, revealed some more things, but he continued to think that Echeverria was lying about something, especially about who this liar from beyond is, like the actual deity, the entity that they've been talking about here and there. You all have read through lots of different notes now from several of like Echeverria's like lieutenants, inner circle, would-be successors, like whether it's Jonathan Brooks or whether it was Samson Trammell, and all of them seem to be kind of floating these different theories as to who the deity actually might be. And Ayers, it was no different. He had his own theory, and his theory was that it was the prisoner of Glaaki, which was something that came to him from Bartolo Acuna, who had read through some of the revelations of Glaaki. And that was kind of his theory that he was working with. He also offered to teach Patrick the rituals of self-denial, which has allowed him to keep that mouth calcified over these long years. And that was last session. I'm not going to go over a little detail he said. That's for you all to have in your notes. So hopefully you took good notes, or you go watch episode 50 again. But we'll say that some time has passed. We'll say maybe you all find a place within these caves, because they are quite cool. They're fluted caverns. The sun still comes down. You still hear some wind kind of coming through a bit here and there. But overall, like, this is one of the cooler, temperature-wise, campsites that you've been able to find. And so all of you, with the exception of Bev, can reset your heat to 0. Bev, because of your broken arm, everything's just taking more energy and more effort. And because of that, you could reset yours to 1. And we'll say we can start a day fresh. What is everyone up to throughout the day or two or so that you spend here? What's going on?
I would say that Marie has really been taking advantage of kind of the respite from the heat. Like, she'd been, kind of up a couple levels of heat, and she had not taken advantage like Will had previously to, kind of take shade or do anything like that. So I would say she's really just sort of, there was the buildup of the travel and are we going to find him and all of that. And so now it's kind of that, like, yes, we found him and he's somewhere cool. And so it's almost that sort of like all of the release of all of kind of the tension and all of that, and just sort of sitting and just resting as much as possible. And so she's really been kind of reserved, kind of quiet, kind of building up kind of that energy again, and playing with Joy Boy or somewhere that's a little bit cooler in the shade. And she doesn't necessarily have to worry about him like running off necessarily. Like, there's tunnels and different things like that. But kind of taking that deep breath respite with Joy Boy.
Okay, fair enough. Is anybody else doing anything?
Will would probably be the exact opposite. His heat level was doing well. He because he rested before, he wasn't as overcome by it. So the fact that, like, we finally reached this destination and then all we're supposed to do now is sit around and meditate would not really sit well with him. So I think he would try to just wander about, maybe map these tunnels out, try to, like, make a little, like, basic line sketch of where some of these tunnels lead, just something to keep him busy and, perhaps come across, some interesting artifacts.
You go ahead and give me a navigate test.
Those.
Are you?
I'm okay, Adam. 60.
Yeah. That's actually pretty good, man.
That's awesome.
That's very good.
That's a really good stat.
That is a hard success. 27 under 60.
Okay.
Nice.
What you can figure out in terms of, as you're sort of traveling around, is there's kind of 2 levels to this large rock construction, and you realize, like, much like the pilasters that Shyma found out front of the cave opening, there are others that you find along the way, where you can see that there definitely seem to be some semblance of like civilization here. Meaning, like, at some point in the past, somebody had deigned to create like these etched steps, these etched pilasters. More than once, you see a broken archway here and there to suggest that this was inhabited in the past. You don't think it's anytime recently. There's kind of 2 tiers to it. There's this sort of basic level, but then there is a secondary level, and that you can move around in a bit that is where George Ayres eventually appeared from, right? So ultimately, you feel fairly confident that you can navigate these tunnels inside and outside. If you're looking for specific artifacts, you got a hard success. So I'll say at some point you do find what appears to be some kind of broken fragments of a relief maybe that was at some point carved onto a wall that had been kind of sheared from some of the wind passing through. But you can see the fragments are buried in some rubble on the ground, and you can pick them up and you can see them. It's not perfectly intact, but it's something.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely pack those up and carry around some rocks for the rest of the scenario.
Cool. Cultural theft. Awesome. Okay, so Will takes those cultural artifacts, steals them, and then puts them in his white man's basket. Okay. Who else? Okay. All right. They belong in a museum or something. Okay. Who else would like to do something? I was watching Maitreyi's face the whole time. She was so bored with this track. We've talked about it.
You knew how I die when jokes about corners.
So funny. Okay. Well, who else is doing something?
Shyma is doing something much less thefty, but she is also very intrigued by this place, and I think she's taking rubbings where she can, or copying down where she can't do rubbings of the writing on the walls around them, like the stuff that's carved into the walls.
You want to make like could probably make like an archaeology or an anthropology, whatever one that Shyma has. Probably archaeology, I think.
I have 1 in archaeology and 5 in anthropology.
I'll take anthropology.
Can I take 2 audience post Mel to make that up to 25?
Got it.
Wait, do you have?
Thank you.
I think you have 1s in both.
Oh no, I have 1s in both. I'm so sorry. I was reading my appraise, which is 5.
Okay.
Which is between anthropology and archaeology.
So I'll tell you this. Just make the roll, and you're going to successfully do this. This is a chance for you to make the roll, but you're going to successfully do this. It's just we'll just say the better you do, sliding scale. If you would like to dedicate that time, you certainly could.
I think she would mostly be like resting, but maybe instructing verbally Shyma on like what to do.
Okay.
That would be. I will happily take your assist.
All right, so go ahead and take a bonus die as the two of you spend some time moving throughout the tunnels, taking these etchings here and there, documenting some things for your own notes. And if you fail the roll, let me know the number, because the quality of the number will determine the quality of the etchings that you take.
Okay, so in that case, Mel, I'm not going to take the audience post because there's no way I'm going to succeed on this anyway.
Don't worry about pass or fail. This is just a quality.
Look at you.
8.
I mean, you rolled an 8.
Oh my god.
Wow. That's amazing.
What?
So good.
The actual fuck.
That's excellent. Okay.
I mean, do you have 7 luck?
I do have 7 luck.
You do, and you were just complaining about having too much and being afraid.
That's true. It was.
Okay.
Okay. May I please spend the luck?
Absolutely. I'll say that the two of you spend a day or so here going through, and at some point, maybe Eris comes and helps you, as Eris himself was once a sort of an up and coming archaeological professor himself. Spent some time, obviously. He's also, I think he's going to be spending some time with Patrick. We'll talk about that in a sec. But when he has some time, he'll come over and he might point you to some of the tunnels where there's the most interesting things to find. And as long as he doesn't see Will stealing stuff, he won't say anything. But sure, absolutely. You get these beautiful etchings of some of these reliefs that have been carved into these pilasters, into these friezes that you find every now and then. And then you also maybe at one point or two, you just get a sketchbook out and you try to depict some of what you're seeing. I don't know if any of you have a camera or not. I'm not sure if anyone here has got skills in photography. So you just do your best to sketch down what you're seeing here and there. And it's a lot of like, you can tell the idea of like mythological underpinnings, right? You can tell the idea of this is somehow, and this is probably supported by George Ayres, it talks about the idea of who exactly Olath Walk is, and the idea of what these halls are, and how in some cases, especially for those who are facing down nightmares, like this is a place where they go to heal or they go to be consumed by them. And the quality of the person determines which one of those outcomes you have. If you are a quality person, you will overcome them. You will face those nightmares down, those dreams down, the guilt, the remorse, and you will overcome them and become better. If, however, you are not a good person, if in some ways your life is driven by greed and selfishness and narcissism, you might find yourself leaving this place in a worse way, if at all.
Awesome.
And I will say that the two of you and Will, you do find evidence that people like of like actual skeletal bones here and there down some of these scattered paths. Like this suggestion, like people have perished here in the past. No, nothing recent, but
for sure.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you.
And Patrick, do you take up Ayers on his offer to teach you the rituals of self-denial?
After a day self-reflecting in here and watching Ayers, understanding his psychology a bit, what he's like being alone here for so long, and seeing what has happened and what's to come, and make a decision after a day of waiting, come up to him and ask him, I think I'm ready.
And he looks up at you with a pity, like you can see pity on his face. And this is a man who is extremely thin, but not unhealthy. You can tell he's healthy. He doesn't look like he's like in any state of dying, but he is very thin, and he himself probably looks like a pitiable figure. But nonetheless, like washing over his face as you say this is a look of pity, as a person who understands more than anybody what you're going through and what you're about to face. And so he will take you to a sort of a secluded place in the upper level of these halls, where there's a bit of an out, like you can see it's like a nested sort of like cave opening that pushes out into the sun. The sun's not actually hitting it straight, but you can get like sunlight comes in from the north, and so it's not direct and not too hot in here. And he will sit down on what appears to be something he set up before, like this is like a meditation place for him. And he begins to instruct you, and we see kind of a montage, I would say, over the course of the next day or two of like the two of you discussing, talking here and there, him gesturing at the mouth, on his chest, on his stomach, and he will try to get you to go through these meditative practices. And maybe there's those moments where it looks like you're giving up, and he encourages you to come back, and we just see this happen over the course of a long period of time. What he ultimately comes to, and he says, is that that the, I'm trying to remember the voice I used for him. I know it hurt.
Rituals are daily, Mr. Price. You cannot neglect them, even for a moment. For if you do, the mouth will gain control again. If you continue these practices of denial, eventually the mouth that has grown on you will grow ashy. It will calcify. It will cease to exalt the creature that it is connected to. And you will have some measure of peace. But it is a peace kept only by vigilance and dedication. Can you do this, Mr. Price?
Well, I've got a daily reminder right here on my arm. I could say I'm a dedicated man. The others might have to remind me a bit, but I can do this.
I am here in the wastes, in the halls of Olaf Walk, because in part I had a guilty conscience, but there was another reason. The indulgences and the excesses of modern life are not available to me here. So, I cannot, even if I wanted to, give in to temptation. I presume you and your friends will be leaving here, and you'll be returning to society. Temptation, indulgence, excess will be available to you.
Yeah, I thought that myself, and it's going to be rough, but I can get through it. So I hope.
As well.
And so he tells you what you need to do. I'm going to drag something onto your character sheet. It's going to go under your status. So you'll see it in just 1 second. So the same place where you have your mania phobia, you'll see it pop up there in a second. And it is called the Rituals of Self-Denial. So basically, what he tells you is that these rituals must be observed daily. It's literally a daily ritual to ensure that the mouth remains calcified and it is detached from indulgence. You need to practice in terms of consumption. You have to consume only the barest quantities of food and water. You only consume that which is biologically needed to survive. You need to have long periods of meditation each day on the barest facts of your own existence. You need to suppress extreme emotion, and you need to avoid any situation that could provoke extreme emotion. And you need to practice complete and total sexual and romantic abstinence. These are the rituals of self-denial.
Oh boy, that's something.
I know, especially because of your character. Now, that's the narrative. All right, mechanically, how this will work is that when you are faced with enticing opportunities to indulge, this could be if you're at a party, this could be if someone comes on to you, this could be if like someone offers to buy you a drink or anything like that. You need to roll POW. I didn't want to do sand. That felt unfair because I know how low you are. So we're going to do POW. I'm going to roll POW when faced with enticing opportunities to indulge, and failure means that you indulge. You can push that roll. You can use luck, obviously. And when you indulge, you have to roll luck. And on a failure, the mouth will stir. And if you had already calcified it, because calcification isn't going to be instant, it's going to be something that happens over time. And if it was already calcified, it would actually begin to awaken again. And same with critical failure, just moves it along faster. If you ever skip your daily meditations, you have to roll POW. And it is, again, can be pushed. You can use luck on this. Failure will let the mouth stir. Critical failure of a pushed roll will automatically awaken the mouth from calcification. And so that you will once more have to do it again to get it back towards calcifying. So you have to do this literally every day. Obviously, we as a game are not going to do every single day, but only during the course of an adventure will we really focus on your rolls. But in between, as long as you are role playing it, like when we go to Arkham or something like that, you don't have to necessarily roll it. But during the course of play, you will need to. This is what you are. This is what you are taught over the course of, we'll say, 48 hours. He kind of walks you through it, especially the meditation parts. The idea of just ruminating on the barest bits of the barest facts of your existence, and there's that. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So, let me throw it back over to you all. So we'll say 2 days have passed. You guys have rested. You're feeling better. Patrick, you have You have started this. Even, I would say, go ahead and give me a power roll just to see how the first day goes. We'll get this started. Give me a power roll to see how see how it goes. It's just to see if it starts well.
Hey, not bad. It's a hard success.
Excellent.
Nice.
And so we'll say
Very nice.
after these first 2 days of you practicing with George Ayers, you can already see that it's having an effect on the mouth. Like the mouth is certainly not as vocal as it has been before. You can see it seems like sluggish at times. It's still active. It's still there. It's still fleshy. It's not calcified like his, but you can already see that it's having an effect.
This is something else. It's actually working. This Ayers is on something.
Yeah, Patrick, since like you got this whole new you, and great for you. I'm glad that it's gonna be really awesome, and I'm sure it'll be very healthy. I've noticed you haven't been drinking much from your flask. Do you mind if I just take that?
Of course, I'm not gonna need it anymore.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I also don't have any booze for it. Do you have any extra bottles?
Back at camp, I don't know where I left it.
I was heading back that way anyways. You mind if I just rifle through your bag and...
It's best if you take it. If I have any of it, it's gonna be a problem.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll just help myself then. Thank you, I appreciate that. And I take a swig in front of him.
I wince a bit at it. It's gonna be hard.
Okay. It
I
is
support you 100%, buddy. I'm right there with you every step of the way.
the absolute worst.
So supportive.
Oh my God.
Supportive.
I'm adding
Don't ever
Patrick's
try to
my
kick
equipment.
booze or drugs in front of Will, because he's just going to drink his booze, do a couple lines of coke right in front of you. You okay? It's okay if I do this, right?
I'm just making sure you don't use it. If I use it all up, then there's no temptation for you. I'm being a good friend.
The more I do, the less there is for you to do.
Exactly.
Exactly. 0 sub. 100% for me. 0 for you.
I'm not offering him any. That's what an ally does.
Yeah.
Everyone go ahead, by the way. Reset your daily SAN. Okay.
Yay.
And for those of you that are recovering HP, so I think that's everyone but Bev, if you need to recover HP, don't forget, we'll say you had 2 nights of rest here that you can do your recovery for. So those of you who still need it, go right ahead. Bev, just count down, we'll say in 2 more days, you can do a con roll for your stuff. So, because it was probably about 3 days between when you broke your arm and when you arrived at the halls, and it's been 2 days here, so we're probably at count 5. So, in about another 2 more days, you'll be able to do your first test. Okay.
Sweet.
All right. So, some time has passed. What more do you all want to do here? George Ayers, did you come up with additional questions you want to ask him? What's next for you guys?
Marie would pull Bev aside. Dr. Key.
Yes, Marie.
I seem to remember you mentioning that you have quite the photographic memory once you have laid eyes on something. This is true, yes?
Yes, it's aided me.
Yes, what a lovely skill. I myself, if I hear something, it stays in my mind. If I see something, not so much. Which is why I was wondering, I was considering the things that we've come across. And do you recall there was the back of that album liner that had the symbols that we've really never been able to figure out what they were? Do you remember looking at those at all?
I know I looked at it. I could attempt a roll.
It was, and obviously there were lines and lines and lines and lines of things, and we wouldn't remember that. But I was just wondering if perhaps if we put our heads together, by which I mean if you remember things and I draw them as you describe them, we could together perhaps show a symbol or 2 of these to Professor Ayers and see if perhaps he had come across this language in his studies or his travels, perhaps.
Yeah, we could try it. That's a good idea.
So, and I don't know what we could roll for that just to see.
Yeah,
Again,
roll.
it was probably like 20 lines of things, but maybe a couple.
Yeah, Bev, give me a no roll. It's totally fine. I have to pull that back up. I sure wish you would have told me this is something I would have had that ready to go.
11. That is an extreme success.
All right.
Nice.
I am pulling up. Okay, extreme success, and so this is just your ability to recall it, and so you're hoping that he might have some answers, some help.
Yeah, so looking at it, like there was some. Again, it was a lot, and I have absolutely no expectation that we're going to remember most of it, but maybe just a few symbols or something he might be able to help us identify the language or the location or something with this album.
I am going to give him a bonus die on his roll. It's effectively a cryptography roll to go ahead and decode this. And and so because of Bev's extreme success, he's going to get that. Oh man, I just rolled like 2 10s. Okay.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay, so if you pull him aside, maybe after the second day, and you give him some time to look at it, and he'll say,
my skills perhaps have eroded. Alas, there is language in here that is certainly of mixed origin. There is Nahuatl. There is modern Spanish. There is Latin. And then there appears to be iconography that seems of the Maya, I believe. I understand that this is an approximation. It would take more time and resources. But it says, if one could but glance the eternal glory of Gold Zumal for an instant, then one could forever find the path which would lead them hence. Alas, in the beautiful words of her song, one can only see the rock which shields paradise from the unworthy world. Yet, if enough were to join her song, perhaps the voice beyond her own would reveal itself to us. Let us listen and create the conduit.
Ooh, I hate that. Okay.
Thank you so much, Professor Ayers. We came across this in Mexico City, and she'll provide a little bit of kind of the backstory of what had happened in Mexico City and the singer and the combination of the nectar and the music and all of that, and kind of give him a little kind of what we've learned and how this sort of makes a bit of sense given what we'd heard. This is very fascinating and was quite distressing. I even had a moment of just seeing things and being overtaken by emotions, just hearing a record playing on a record player. This is the fear that we have of how these cults are taking over those completely ignorant to these beliefs, and yet it is spreading.
It was Echeverria's Ramon. It was his desire to grow the cult. I am afraid I am not overly familiar with Mr. Brooks. His place in the hierarchy was not high enough to draw my attention. If he was even an early disciple of Ramon at all, perhaps Samson was the one who brought him into the fold, which would have been after my departure.
He has his own goals and aspirations. When we decided to travel here to try to find you to help Mr. Price, we had 2 of our party were beset by the mouths, and Shyma took one approach to ending the threat to the rest of us, and she made that sacrifice. The other place we were considering going was continuing to follow up on what is happening in Mexico. There is a city on the peninsula that seems to be another site that they are looking to develop. And that may be where we go next, being lucky enough to find you.
It is your decision. I wish you good fortune. I know nothing of this area. I'm sorry.
You've been most helpful. Dr. Key has quite the memory on her to put this to paper so that we could get your assistance, but we've had this for a bit and it was a mystery to us. So we are grateful to you and feel this is very one-sided. We come to you. You've helped Mr. Price. You've helped us with a translation. Is there anything that we can do to assist you, to repay you for the invaluable assistance and support?
There is nothing that I desire, so I cannot acquire myself.
Roll a psychology test, Marie.
Happy to. That is exactly. I rolled a 36, which is exactly what I need for a hard psychology success.
You can tell that he's not telling the truth. He's been fairly truthful with Yar, but when he says there's nothing, there's definitely a moment of hesitation. And you think he's not saying something. There's something he's holding back.
Professor Ayers, I appreciate you have extolled the benefits of asceticism, and clearly this has been helpful for you. But I wonder if there is something that you are holding back from us. We owe you a great debt.
It's just... And he looks down at his mouth, which you can tell, Marie, has started to moisten here and there. The exertion over the couple of days that he's been here with you all, helping Patrick, answering these questions, indulging in archaeological translation with Bev, all of these things are beginning to kind of wear on him a bit. And he did say that the longer that you, like his metaphor was that the longer you keep an eye in darkness, the more it is affected by even the smallest light. And so these small matters, you can tell, has begun to like moisten the calcification of his mouth. But he says, it is a small matter. But if you see Edgar, Mr. Job, again, please convey to him my regrets. And my best wishes.
Of course, this is a small repayment that we can provide to you for all of the assistance that you've given us.
He's like doubles over a little bit as if like a person who's having a really bad like stomach ache. You can see he's like, oh, thank you, Miss Wynn. I must remove myself and meditate now.
And Maria kind of looks at Dr. Key and lower her voice a little bit. I fear that he is helping us a great deal, but I fear that he has been isolated for so many years and we are undoing some of that. Did you notice the changes in his mouth?
I mean, knowledge is joy. I know for me, for me to do this, I would have to give up research. I would have to do reading would not be something that I would be able to indulge in because those bring me pleasure. So I can understand the pain that he put himself through. I think our greatest gift to him, repayment, could be leaving sooner than later.
It makes me so sad that Marie's an outgoing type of person, and so this asceticism and isolation is completely outside of her frame of reference, and like literally her drive is like curiosity and all of that. I cannot even imagine what it has been like for him to be so isolated and alone for this many years, and to see a friendly face and be helpful and have that be a burden.
This is a man who is still repenting and will repent for the rest of his days.
We must get his best wishes to Mr. Job.
Yeah, despite his assistance and his regret for his actions, it still doesn't change the fact that he did try to assist a cult in bringing a god into our world. And that we're still dealing with the repercussions of those actions to this day.
Yes, you are. And she sort of, I imagine maybe he's stepped away a bit, and he's...
Oh yeah, Bev would have waited till he was gone.
And just sort of looking to him, that he is so gaunt, and it just remembering that he is someone potentially to be judged. Yes, Dr. K, you are correct. There were many ills that we are trying to correct. I am always amazed, Dr. K, at your memory for things that you've seen, that I thought you may only be able to remember a line or two, and you were quality work, Dr. Key.
Thank you. I am a little annoyed with myself that I didn't catch the Latin sooner, but it is a mix of things.
It served its purpose if it was intended to be confusing and only able to be read by those it was intended for.
You're too kind to me, Marie. And she just kind of smiles, and then she'll again go find some place to sit and rest until we decide.
Gotcha. Is anyone doing anything else in the time? Like, you're welcome to stay here as long as you feel like you want to stay here. Like, you're welcome to leave. You're welcome to talk to him some more if you want to push it. Like, it's sort of up to you guys. I'm taking your lead. So what more do you think you all want to accomplish?
Shyma's not doing anything particularly, but if she does hear or has any inkling about this sort of reawakening because we are kind of distracting him from his rituals, she's gonna be very vocal about being pushing to leave. Like, if Patrick's got what he needs, we need to go. There's no need to stay here longer.
I hear you, Shyma. I think I've heard enough from Ayers. It's sad to see what I'm looking at is what I might become, but
yes.
Final thought, I don't think we've asked if he knows where Akuna's been or if we've seen him at all.
Yeah, you would have kind of gotten an idea. Like, the two of them parted company like 12 years ago was the last time they saw each other. And that was at Mersa Fatma. So there was a time when you kind of get the sense between what you've heard from Maitreyi and Jerome, and now from his side of things, that maybe the Guardians were responsible for some of the sabotage, the problems that were happening, because there's a lot of dig site issues that we're having with supplies, and then like there was like a train that kind of kept not delivering the supplies that they needed. And so Bartolo, and after the discovery of that inner sanctum, and when he had to send off that shard that Shyma now carries, that while they were in Mersa Fatma trying to get more funding, trying to organize more supplies, and then shipping updates off to Echeverria, the volcano exploded. And then Acuna felt no compulsion to return, just was like, it's over, I'm going back to Spain. And then when it comes to Ayers, he felt some remorse and some guilt for some of the workers that he had become friendly with. And he returned. And that was the last time the two of them saw each other. And eventually Acuna came back. And you would know that one of the reasons, I think you heard this, you guys would know, historically, Spanish Civil War is definitely the type of thing where a person like him might want to avoid his homeland right now. So,
and we did hear about a Spanish archaeologist with the Italians. We can make an educated guess. I think that's probably him.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, you just reminded me, Jeff. We don't have to play it up, but Shyma is going to ask George Ayers if the stone that she now knows has been responsible for preventing the dreams, if that would help him in his rituals at all, and if would she leave it with him?
He would explain it as, okay, because his explanation of it was like they found a door. There was like, and that shard was kind of embedded into it, like wedged into it in some way. And it wasn't until they removed it that they were able to freely and easily enter that inner chamber where they found that large statue carving of a big mouth. So, I mean, I don't think he would. Yeah, he's not going to ask for anything. Like, so, like, whether or not you want to leave it with him is an entirely Shyma decision, not a him decision. Yeah.
No, she won't. She'll keep it with the intention of giving it to her father.
Okay. All right. Anything else that you all wanted to do? Marie, you have something else?
Yeah, so Marie was, so he had sort of mentioned that people would come here to kind of have dreams, and if they're sort of a good person, then they're kind of separated from those bad dreams, and if they're not a good person, then maybe they don't make it. So like in the nights that we're here, she's been kind of concerned about like an encounter where she like gotten bit, and so she kind of wants to dream on that while she's here. And
can you just do that? Can you just like, I dream on this? Is that a skill Marie has?
I could try. So I think that's
wow.
sort of what the attempt is like going to sleep thinking of a thing and then seeing if that like, okay, so we heard that this is a thing that could happen when you have dreams, and then you kind of come here. And so it's like, well, we're here. So and she may completely fail at it. But she'd want to give it a
roll a dreaming test. What's funny is that is in fact a skill. It's just in Horror on the Orient
It's
Express.
just not in this one. Yeah.
Horror on the Orient Express when you get Dreamlands. Yeah. I would say, I don't know, roll power. Give me a power roll. Give me a power roll.
Okay. All right. 64 over 60. So I'm willing to spend 4 luck if that helps.
Okay. I would say then, then you do in fact have the dreams that you want to have, and it was when you were bit by the hyenas. Is that the idea,
yes.
or is it something else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what she's been concerned about. So,
and the 2 nights that you spend in these halls, in counting, you can spend more if you want, but we'll say 2 for now. And you do have these recurring dreams of the incident of not just the hyenas themselves, but the kind of half hyena, half man who cast spells, and it was a hideous thing. And you raced off into the darkness. So yeah, like you are face down with these nightmares. What are you hoping to accomplish by dreaming them?
She's being curious, basically, of like, she doesn't know. Is this going to sort of make this worse? Is this going to give her a little more, not control? Control is definitely not an outcome here, but just a little more at peace with this, or does this sort of dreaming about it make it worse, make the concern worse, or does dreaming about it sort of give her a little more integration?
Does the incident, does it like, how does it weigh on Marie? Is it weigh on Marie because she's like feeling guilty for abandoning her friends when she ran away screaming, or is it you're worried that you're going to turn into a hyena, like a were hyena? Like what do you think it is?
It's become the latter. I think initially it was the former, but it's become the latter of there's so many just weird things and people have mouths on them. So getting bit by something and having something horrible happen is not outside the realm of our reality or possibility.
Your second night dreaming of this, you wake up to the sound of cackling laughter. And
what?
You look around, you see everyone's sleeping, but you hear it from somewhere else in the halls. It's just kind of echoing around.
Where? And she's whispering, I hear you. Where are you? Where are you? And she will try to tiptoe away from where everyone's sleeping. And where are you?
Okay.
I hear you. I don't see you.
You can give me a luck test.
Oh dear. Not so good with the lucks. I'm at 26. 46.
Okay. You keep hearing it and you wander the halls and it feels like you've been at this for hours, maybe days. Like that's what it feels like with the dream. It just seems to take so long, and you lose track of which tunnel you've been down. You lose sight of Will and Bev and Shyma and Patrick and George and Jerome. You don't see any of them for what seems like forever. And then finally, at one point, you call out like, "Where are you?" And you hear, "Here." And you whip around, and standing in front of you is this were hyena. This half man, half hyena, mouth kind of drifting off to the side. Half of it looks like human teeth. The other half looks like hyena teeth. And he just reaches out and like grabs your face and then howls. And then you wake up. You look
and she
around.
just sits up. Hello? Hello?
And as you say so, your mouth feels kind of weird. You move your tongue around a bit. And you feel two of your teeth feel a little sharper than you remember them to be.
Oh no. Oh, no. And then she like runs her finger over it. No, I'm no. And she's running her finger.
Go ahead and give me a sand test.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Ooh, 16 under 43.
All right. No sand loss. However, it is a disturbing nightmare to the point where like you can kind of still feel the hand on your face. You can feel the sharpness in your teeth. Like you kind of scratch down where you were bit. A very unsettling feeling.
And for the next at least day, like if anyone sees Marie in a quiet moment, she's just like running her tongue over her teeth, just fairly constantly.
Okay. Did anybody else have anything that they were looking to do in the time here?
I'm good.
Okay. You don't want to opt into a nightmare insanity roll. Got it.
Right. I'm good.
We'll say maybe the second night, we'll say. So the third day, the third morning, sometime early in the morning. Will, in fact, you are awoken with a hand over your mouth. And you look up and you see Jerome staring at you. And he puts a finger to his lips. And he whispers down into your ear.
There are people outside the house. You've been followed. There is a foul voice in the wind.
And when you look around, Will, you can see that there is this like black mist that is beginning to permeate. It's kind of spill into this little campsite. You can see some of it is dripping down from above.
We must. We are trapped.
And you realize that Jerome is probably one of the few times you've seen him very nervous at this point. What does Will do?
Will would nod quietly, wake up the others. Would Will, in all like the mapping of the tunnels, would he know like a like secondary exit or like maybe even like a lookout from the second floor to see?
I think you can probably, you did really well on that roll. So I think you got a hard success or something on it. So Will can say you know both, a second way into these halls, and you would know of a couple of those lookout points similar to the one that Patrick was in, the meditation like chamber he has.
All right. So I would pull out that little like scratch paper where I was doodling the map, and I would trace it as best I can for Jerome, like the exit that would like allow us. I'd say there are other ways out of these halls. If they know these ways out, they may still be there. But if they only know where we came in, we might be able to sneak around. Let's wake up the others, and I will try to look out and see if I can see how many there are.
Okay, Will, give me a spot hidden. I want a hard success, though, as it is still dark out.
Fair. Spot hidden is 45, but I'm going to nail it, so it's okay. Oh, missed my dice tray.
So much noise over there. Love that noise.
I
love that noise in the mic. Melissa does it too. She's like, here's my mariachi. Here's I'm going to rub this really hard.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I needed a hard. I rolled a 38, which is a regular success. That would be 16 luck to make it a hard. I rolled 16 luck to gain today, so that's a sign to spend it.
Okay.
There you go.
Hell yes.
Outside, you can see. I'll say you move to a position in which you have sight of the opening through which you all came. You see on a rock in the distance, there is a figure that is like kind of moving around and sort of gesticulating. There's a staff in one hand or a scepter of some kind, and he's just sort of moving, and you hear this chant, this voice. You don't understand the words, but he's kind of moving about, and you're seeing flowing out of that person, this mist is just pouring out and undulating forward into the entrance into these tunnels. You notice also that there are at least 10 other figures with them. Spears. You can see the reflection of the moon, of the stars, and some blades here and there. You can see that your camels are missing. They either have like cut them loose and sent them free, or they've stolen them and removed them, or they've scattered. You're not sure, but you can see that you are facing at least a dozen figures here. They look not unlike the types of warriors that you saw when you were greeted and welcomed at Cthulhu and at Saborimo. And that is what you see.
I see they have spears. Do I see they have rifles too?
You don't see anything necessarily, no.
Okay.
You don't have a regular success, so I'm only giving you basic info. So why don't you just calm down?
It was a hard success that you required.
Yeah, but that's a basic pass. You would have gotten an extreme success. You want to spend some points to get extreme success?
It would be another 13. No, I'm not going to spend that. Okay.
And you don't know if they have guns. Unclear.
I would regroup.
When we all get shot in the back, we'll be so glad that you still have those 13 luck. I'm just teasing.
I'll also be alive because I'll be spending the 20 luck for the extra.
Right.
I
will regroup and tell them what
everyone
I see.
Is awake at this time. Yeah. Okay.
There is some, like Jerome said, there's a black mist, but I saw someone looked like they were reminded me of some sort of pastor from back home. He had a staff and he started chanting like some sort of hymn, and I don't know how to explain it, but it seemed like he was calling the mist. I know that sounds stupid. There were at least 10 others, maybe more. It's dark, so I couldn't be sure. It's a large group. Camels are gone. I don't know if they stole them or if they're out. I don't know how we can make the trek without camels. But I also don't think that we can fight them face on. Patrick, are you up for a fight?
Yeah, I'm ready. Then I remember. No, I can't be fighting. Get out of here. Let's follow the route you found.
Well, the route will lead us out of these tunnels, but we still have a whole desert to get anywhere else. And without camels, it's going to be a hard trek.
One problem at a time. Getting out with our lives is step one. Then we worry about our transportation, but staying here will only go poorly. We've tarried here as long as we needed to. It was useful, but Dr. Key?
Why have they followed us?
They've seen us multiple times. We saw them just a few days ago. They've been following us from the beginning. Why? Who knows? But we knew they were.
We are clearly strangers in their land, and we are poking around very specific locations.
Is Ayers nearby?
It can be, sure.
George, would you want to come with us? It's probably not safe for you to stay with whatever they're planning.
Interesting question. I do not think that I can move the pace that you will need to. And I do not think that I can reintegrate into a society. My time is limited as it is.
Well, unless
unless you wanted to talk him into it, I think his instinct will be to not go with you, to hide and hope for the best.
Will would not pressure him in the slightest. So if anyone else wanted to, but Will would. Okay, you want to stay? You're staying. Well, I suggest that we get moving now. The longer they have to prepare whatever they're preparing, the worse for us.
Miss Oberon has been urging the same, so I think she was quite prescient that we need not tarry.
Okay. Go ahead. Who's got the lowest stealth amongst the group?
Probably Shyma.
I'm a 40.
That's pretty high at 77.
40 as well.
I have 20.
Actually, I'm at 60. But
Yeah,
I
didn't
believe
think you were low. Yeah.
I roll with a disadvantage because of the amputation here?
60 is not the lowest, girl.
No, but I'm asking
20.
if I roll with like with
even if you did, like Bev is still lower. Even if you rolled with the penalty.
I have 20 and a heat of 1, so it's not going away. My target's a 10.
So to
leave Bev with George and then
leave the archaeologists together, everything will be fine.
Buddy system, you two stay together.
Okay. I'm gonna need a stealth test from Bev.
You just rolled an 11 on your education check. You got this. The dice go all the way down to 1.
And you got plenty of luck to spend.
The dice go down
I have 12 luck. That's it.
I know.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're screwed.
She
My
nearly died
10.
last episode because you guys left
Did
her.
you guys forget I was buried alive?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay, I'm gonna take 2 boosts.
Got it.
So target will be. Oh God. Okay.
Target of 30.
Give it a rip. It'll be fine. You'll be all right. You're not all right. Things are bad. Bad roll. An 83.
Fuck.
Man.
You shut your mouth. Do not recommend pushing.
The issue is that Bev still feels the effects of the poison, the stings that she had. So, and she has been laying down a lot more. So she stands. Her feet still feel kind of like lead, and her legs aren't really moving. She hasn't been up and around walking as much as she probably should have for blood circulation because she's just been exhausted. And so this in turn has caused her to she's walking very loudly and not stealthily at all. Sorry.
So as you guys are climbing down the side of one of these second story exits that Will was able to discover, you're kind of on the north side, which is a little bit further away from where the main entrance is. You're slowly getting down. You're slowly coming down, and you begin to sort of creep away from this large, rocky structure. It's maybe 100 yards from it or so, when like Bev, you slip and you stumble on this slope, right? And couldn't help but just give out the briefest of yelps, right? And then suddenly you hear the sounds of calls from behind you. And when you look over your shoulder, those of you who have the capacity to see it, you can see that the man on the rocks kind of stops suddenly and turns his body around and is kind of peering into the darkness here and there. And you see the figures that were with him begin to fan out, looking for you all. I'm going to suggest You can choose against this if you want. I'm going to suggest a chase, maybe? You want to slip into chase rules to try to get away from them?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay.
And I need to remember to spend luck, because I think we did a chase in Bangkok where I forgot to spend luck, and that was poor choice.
Everybody, again,
I've never been in a chase, so let's do it.
Yeah, you were always captured before we got there.
Have you seriously not gotten to do a chase before? Wow.
Yeah, I've never been in a chase.
Okay. Okay, so first thing, everybody roll con. Let's get our numbers in. Let's lock that in.
Yeah, this determines how many moves we get, right?
It will, based upon the lowest of the people. I've already pre-rolled some stuff because I thought this might happen for Jerome and for this other party that has joined the fray. So I just need to know whether you
failed guys.
Okay. All right. So, Will, how did you do?
Regular success, 56 under 60.
What is your movement rate?
That would have been good.
What is your speed, I should say? Yeah. So
move 9.
Move 9. Okay. So, Will, you and Jerome are tied at 9. Okay. Marie, how did you do?
I failed 70 over 50.
Okay. What is your... do you want to spend 20 luck to make that a success?
I have 26 luck.
So you can afford it.
Remember what happened last time you failed in a chase?
I know.
What is your...
I'm really struggling
What is your
with
movement?
This.
What is
8.
your movement? Okay. That means that your speed is going to be 7. Because if you fail, it's -1.
I hate the idea of having 6 luck, but I'm going to spend...
I love it. Okay.
Oh my gosh. 6... Oh god, it makes me sick to text that my character.
What if it can't keep you alive?
You're gonna get my TPK. Okay. All right. That means your movement is 8.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you do, Shyma?
23 under 70 hard.
Okay.
That's amazing.
My movement is 9. If I increase my success to extreme with the luck spend, does that modify anything meaningful?
Yeah, an extreme would be hard doesn't do anything for you, but an extreme would. However, I do think what's it called? Oh my god, your mouth probably will come into play in this case. So make sure you account for that. Remember where I put it.
Okay. Good call. So, should I have rolled with the penalty? Because I did not.
I'm trying to remember where I can't see it on your sheet. It's hiding from me. Where'd it go? One sec. Sorry about this.
What's hiding?
I put on both their sheets an item basically that denotes what their mouth stuff does, but I don't see it on yours.
I
cut
may
yours off.
not have it anymore because I amputated my hand.
That's right. You amputated. So yeah, that's still going to, it still will come into play. So your amputation comes into play. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Sorry. So that will come into play.
Yeah.
So so you will have so this is your first thing. This is your first chapter, right? Since you've gotten amputated, since you amputated. So yeah, you're rolling with a penalty die. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I asked for stealth. So I am rolling for a penalty on con. Which
I'm gonna do it for con, because this is gonna be a long chase.
That's totally fair. You mind if I roll again then? Because I just rolled regular before.
Yeah, just roll one more time. And we'll take the worst of the two.
Okay.
I was like, I totally forgot that she cut her hand off. Get rid of it.
Oh my goodness.
32 this time.
Still have a hard success,
again, happy to spend the luck.
So you would need to get down to a 14, I believe. So you need to spend 18 luck to get down to an extreme success.
Which I have and will do.
Okay. So that means, Shyma, your normal movement is 9, correct?
Yeah.
So that gives you, because you got an extreme, that means your movement is now 10. Bev, how did you do?
I rolled 34 under 40 with a minus 10. So still a pass, regular success.
So what is your movement rate? What is your normal speed?
9.
Excellent. Okay. So you are with Will and Jerome. Excellent. Okay. And then old Patty Price. What you got, man?
Regular, also move with 9.
All right. Well, that is great news. Unfortunately, Marie is holding you all back a little bit.
Even though I spent 20 luck, I just need that on the record that I spent 20 luck to be as little.
It would have been so much worse if you were at 7.
So much worse. No, she's not wrong.
Thank you very much for doing that.
When I die later, I will remember.
No, it's fine. You got the character I created for Bangkok because I was certain I was going to die.
I'll die right in front of you instead of way behind you. You'll be able to witness my death. Much more thrilling.
So, all right. So for this, what's it called? For this chase, Shyma, you're going to have 3 movement actions per round. Everybody but Maria is going to have 2 movement actions per round. Maria is going to have 1 movement action per round. Okay. So let me review the chase rules since this is Patrick's first. So funny. And let me activate.
That's wild. I cannot believe you haven't done a chase yet.
All right. So I'm going to set all of you at 2. And so on our chase tracker, all of you are at the second node. You can see that I'm going to set your pursuers. There are 3 tokens there. The 2 tokens that are in purple, those both are essentially representing a chunk of cultists. I didn't want to have like 50 freaking tokens. So I'm just going to have them essentially represent a chunk. And then you can see that there is a third one as well. So those 3 are essentially chasing after you. So that's how that works. So during structure, what's going to happen is we're going to do just like combat. Highest dex order will go first, and then you're going to be able to take your actions. So you have whatever number of actions I told you is how much you have on your turn. There are several things that you can do. An action could be to move forward in the chase, just go to the next node. In some cases, there might be hazards or barriers that you might have to interact with to get to the next node. And a hazard often means that like you might be like making a skill check to try to overcome it, or it might make it more difficult to get there, or it might just, as a barrier, might just block it entirely, and it might even cause you some damage or something like that along the way. So an action moving forward in the chase. You can also, in some cases, to overcome a hazard or a barrier, perform an action to do that as well. And in other cases, you could do things like fighting or firearms or whatever, but you have to be on the same node of whoever it is that you're attacking. So like it's like if they're on node 1, you're not attacking them. It's only if you're on the same node with them. And I also want to remember you all that if you have 3s and 2s and you guys go flying out in front, you are effectively leaving Marie to die. And I'm totally okay with that. I'm just saying that's effectively what you guys are doing. So just running way out in front doesn't necessarily mean a good thing. So you want to keep that in mind as you go. When it's your turn to go, one of the things you can do is you can always, if you have to face a skill roll to overcome a barrier or a hazard, you can always opt to spend one of your movement actions to get a bonus die. So if I say, hey, you have to roll a climb test for me to get over this, right? This mountain, this rock, this sort of rock enclosure or whatever. You have to roll a climb test, and you have really shitty climb, but you want a bonus die. You can spend one of your movement actions to get a bonus die, stuff like that. Okay. Does that make sense?
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. I got Jerome with you. So Jerome is at 9. So most of you are at 9, but Shyma's at 10. Everybody else is at 9, and then Maria's at 8. That's kind of how this works. Okay. So let me go ahead. Sorry. You should have been faster. All right. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to roll all. Okay. So let's go ahead and change the music, which of course does that for some reason because StreamYard's stupid with its music controls. Absolutely ridiculous with its music controls. What freaking year is this? In the 1990s, I had better music control. Okay.
We are not angling for a StreamYard partnership, but at the same time, you can
not until they fix their
we'll give you some
music controls. Feedback. It's so pathetic. Like, my God, I just can't get over it. All right, Will, you have the highest dex of the group. You get to take your actions first. You are, again, you're about 100 or more yards away from them. They've started to sort of span out and look for you all. You can tell that they know that they heard Bev yelp. It's just a matter of kind of locating you, and they've started to chase you. What do you want to do?
You can't be a good leader if you're hanging out in the back, not taking initiative. So I will run ahead.
Okay.
So first movement action, run to the next node.
Okay. So essentially you guys are going down this slope. This rocky slope. Remember, there was that you were coming up it first when you came here. It was a lot easier when you had camels. They were doing all the hard work for you. Here, you're kind of shifting and moving and sliding. And then remember, you're in this area where there's all these different like almost buttes that are grown up here and there. And you're kind of skating between them. And you manage to move up to the next one. And you like kind of motion back towards everybody else to come. That is one of your two actions. What else would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm just going to keep running ahead, and we'll see how fast everyone else is.
As you move forward, you suddenly hear the sounds of the voice that you heard when you were peeking down at the rock, and you see the man with, he was like using this like guttural chant to create this weird mist. You suddenly hear it again as the wind gusts past you, and you see one of these buttes above you begins to shake and rocks rain down upon you as you are, in trying to get to the next node, have encountered a hazard as some tremors begin to shake and the wind gusts past you and rocks begin to fall and rain down above you. How are you trying to bypass this there, Will?
I would like to nimbly dodge every single rock and not take damage.
Okay, you can roll a dodge test. It is going to be a hard success required as it is dark right now, nighttime.
All right, I don't have any more move actions, so this is just going to have to be a straight roll. Dodge is 52.
Okay.
That's an 84.
Okay. Now, this is a hazard, not a barrier, so this isn't going to necessarily it's not going to doesn't mean you progress. It just means it takes more of your movement actions, so it's going to take an extra movement action. You're out of actions. So this is like your only one here, and you're also going to take 1d6 points of damage. So you're going to take 2 points of damage, and you are thrown back towards the previous node as you cannot afford to move forward. And that is the end of Will's turn. Okay, next up in any order, technically it's Jerome. Jerome is at a 75, technically. He'll follow you, Will. And then he will do the same thing you did, and he will try to move forward underneath the rock falling. The difference between you and him is nothing, because he also fails and takes 3 points of damage in his kickback, or 2 points of damage in his kickback towards you, as the two of you race out together trying to blaze a trail forward. And as the sounds of the voice echo on the wind, as the rocks begin to fall, the earth begins to shake, the two of you go stumbling and like kind of find some quick cover as everything continues to rain. Then it's going to be Marie's turn. She might be slow as balls, but she's nimble, so she gets to go first.
All right. So I am doing my best to kind of keep up with everyone. I'm assuming, will I also then need to roll the dodge here?
So what are you doing? You have one action. What are you doing?
I'm just trying to move forward as far as I can.
And that's your turn. That's all you got to do. See, the reason why Jerome and Will is they tried to move towards the fourth one, and they were trying to move through the hazard, but they didn't have enough action points because it requires 2 actions to get through that hazard. They both only had 1, and they got hit with the rain of the rockfall. You can just get to them. That's it. So you race up to them. You see the two of them are like dodging as rocks fall, and you're up close. Okay. Next up, it is Patrick's turn.
I'll keep up with them. So I'll move with the group here to the one node.
Okay, so you race up, you see where everybody else, you can see Jerome and Marie and Will are trying to get some cover as there's a path in front of you between these two buttes, and both sides rocks are just falling down, almost kind of filling up the void between these two. You have a second action. What would you like to do? You can also just pitch me ideas, by the way. You don't have to fall. Like, you could just pitch ideas like a skill roll for this or a skill roll for that. I want to try to help this person or that person. Just throw out an idea and we'll work it out too.
Okay. You said both paths were falling rocks. Does that mean that the only ways through were being blocked out?
There's not like separate paths to take. You just basically have this one way out.
Then I'll help Marie as best I can because I know she's a bit slow here.
Okay. If you would like to forego one of your actions to give Marie a second action on her next turn, we could do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, cool with that. Yeah, so we'll say you sacrifice one of your turns to kind of help her get ready to go, and like you spot like a different, a safer path through where she can more carefully move.
Thank you, Mr. Price. I appreciate that. I was about to lose my foot right there. I didn't even wear heels, and I'm still feel like I'm slowing everyone down.
I'll carry Joy Boy. You focus on moving ahead.
Oh, that's a great way to flavor it.
Thank you. I very much appreciate that. I've been very distracted trying to make sure that he's safe.
Okay, Shyma, it is going to be your turn first because you are tied with this other person, the emissary, and you actually have a higher combat skill than they do. I think combat skill is your tiebreaker, so you get to go.
Cool. I'm gonna use my first action. I'm gonna give my second up as well to create a hazard in this node. Specifically, what I would like to do is use the either the Gila dagger, but preferably the multi-tool that I said I had, because I don't want to ruin this gift from Marie if I can help it. But I'm happy to use it if I need to. But the idea is to kind of like crowbar some of the ruins on the side and create some kind of like rockfall, avalanche, something that buys a little bit of time.
Okay. I like it. Let's roll a test. You could do something like, if you're trying to create a trap, to me, that sounds survival-like.
Okay.
But I realize that everybody sucks at survival.
I have a very like, I think Will's the only one that has a decent survival.
I would take a strength test, but it would require a hard success. Because that's usually what I do is if you don't have the skill, the attribute is fine as long as it's a hard success. And I do think your amputation would come into play here.
Totally agree. So a hard success and penalty die.
And a penalty die. Yeah.
Okay. Marie, can I take 2 audience dice? Let's succeed.
Got it.
Thank you. Okay. Does it show up for you? It's taking a minute for me.
Yeah.
I see a 53 as the worst of the two. Since you used 2 of the... I thought we weren't using...
for chases
audience dice.
Anything over 50.
No.
Anything over 50.
Anything above 50, yeah. Sorry, that was our little homebrew. Yeah. The whole
that
thing's
was just me slipping. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Okay, so let's just take a look at what you're at. You're at 53, and so to get to a hard success, you would need to spend 13 luck.
Okay? Yeah, sure. What the hell on?
Okay, so we'll say that a hazard has been you turn around, you see you're on this like narrow path, like weaving down the slope, and you take your dagger out, you just start hacking into some of these smaller bits of rock just to kind of create these maybe sharp shards that they would have to race down, as they're already racing down quickly in the dark and they might not see it. And so we'll say it's kind of creating like a rocky caltrop on the slope effectively. Okay, so that's one action.
With my second and third, I'd like to move forward, please.
Okay, well, your second one will just get you to 3. You would need 2, like you could tell, and Will and Jerome and everyone could basically tell you, like it's going to take 2 actions for you to get through that rock hazard. So you could begin the progress just like Will and Jerome did by expending one of them now, and then the second one on your next turn.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. Would I roll a dodge for this?
You can roll a dodge to try to avoid the damage. Yes.
Okay. And that'll also be at a penalty because
I think so, yes.
So dodge at penalty. And that is
still a success.
71 success.
Excellent.
Look at you.
Okay, and so you do manage to avoid taking any damage. You kind of learn from Will and Jerome a little bit, and then you're up and ready. Okay. Next up, however, it is the emissary's turn. The emissary's got 2 actions to spend. The first one that they're going to take is they're going to cast a spell. You hear this on the wind that the voice changes. There's already like this tremor that's kind of beginning to shake, and you all see up in front of you where like between that sort of crevice between these 2 large buttes which you're trying to slip through, the rocks are falling. You can see the sand and the dirt on the horizon begins to stir. So that's one action. And then the second action is they will begin to progress down, but because of the hazard, they can't get all the way up to Bev. But Bev, you can see that they've begun to shimmy down this slope towards you. The others will just chase, and they will go right through and right down that slope. I'm gonna roll some tests to see if they get through unharmed. Or whether they take any of the damage. That first batch passes. The second batch fails. Bev, you hear the sounds of just guttural curses, essentially, from a group. As you see storming down this slope, there are 10 of these warriors with long spears, and they are moving much more quickly than you would have thought possible. They get through Shyma's hazard, but they are out of actions now, so they can't actually do anything for you. They have a higher combat skill than you, by the way. That's why they went before you, Bev. And then Bev, you are the last to go, but you have 2 actions to play with. You are slowly getting surrounded. Very familiar feeling, maybe, for Bev. Right
now. This Bangkok 2.0 Electric Boogaloo.
Yep.
Kidnap attempt 7 of what? Who knows? Okay. I'm running to 3.
Okay, so that's first action. You got a second action that you can expend. You can do it to, like Jerome and Will have already done, and Shyma, expend 1 to make progress to the other side of the hazard, or you can do something else if you wanted.
She'll spend the 1 to make progress, to the hazard, because she wants to be with the group as much as she can be.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I'm just moving, if you can see how I'm doing, I'm moving everybody who has expended an action already. I'm just moving your tokens a little bit to the right. Give me a dodge test to see if you can avoid the falling rocks for damage.
Okay. This is really bad, right? If you take additional damage when you already have a major wound, that's bad.
I have 6 HP, so the chance of me going down is very likely. I'm going to take a boost to negate my 10%.
Of course you are, because you're a cheater. You're a filthy cheater.
I'm way under 50, Jeff. I have 28 dodge. Okay.
Filthy cheater. Okay.
All right. So we're shooting for 28 and got a 43.
Okay.
And I don't have enough to spend.
Okay.
So
all right.
I'm taking some damage.
It's only 1 point of damage, though. So you're okay. It's 1d3 worth of damage, and you just took 1. So you're good to go.
Oh, I thought it was D6. I was scared.
It's a D6 divided by 3. So I roll a D6 and I cut it out. Okay. We come back to the top of the round. Let me reset. Will, you can see everyone is kind of caught up with you. You can see Marie is moving a little slowly, but looks like Patrick's trying to help her along. As Joy Boy is occasionally hopping out of her out of her arms and trying to go somewhere else. And Patrick just comes by and scoops him up. And then you look behind, you hear the shouts, and you can see like one group of these warriors are like stumbling down the slopes thanks to whatever Shyma did. But there's also like the sand is beginning to stir in front of you. The rocks are falling. Will, you've got two actions. What are you doing?
Will continue to be the hero of the group and blaze a path forward. So I will spend my first action to finish moving into the fourth node. Do I have to dodge again?
No, just the once.
Okay. And then I will spend my second action to start moving towards the fifth node.
Okay, so you start pushing through this kind of burgeoning sandstorm. You just see the earth just begin to rise up and begin to throw like dirt into the air. And that's when you realize it's not just dirt that's being thrown up into the air. As you hear the sounds of whoosh, whoosh, and you see these little explosions begin to happen. And when they do, these spouts of red just come showering up, and they start dripping all of these bits of lava. As you see a volcanic eruption has begun to sort of erupt in front of you.
Should have known.
Okay, so this is in fact a barrier, and so that means that you are not yet to the place. So you have expended one action to move through the hazard, a second action to get up to the volcanic this field of kind of volcanic eruption that seems to be affected by whatever spell this emissary has cast, and is raining lava down left and right. You can decide how you want to get through it. You need a pass to move through it. You have to pass a test to move through this. That makes sense.
It's not my best skill, but I think the one that makes most sense would be desert survival. Like just my know-how of this sort of environment and terrain, and trying to guess like where the cracks in the rocks would be, which would be most likely where the lava is. Those are the places I avoid, and so on.
Okay. That sounds fine to me. Go ahead and give that roll.
And it's already checked to improve, so I might as well spend some audience dice here. So it's a 30. I'll spend a die.
Oh, okay. They need a hard success then.
Yeah.
What?
I rolled an 89 anyways.
Okay. As you try to navigate through it, you feel the earth beneath you tremble, and a spout shoots up. It was a regular fail, correct? Wasn't a critical fail.
Not critical.
Right, you are going to take some damage.
Ooh.
As one sec. Where am I? Okay, there I am. Okay. You're actually going to take some damage, as it looks as though one of these explosions happens and a small speck of lava falls onto your arm. You take 6 points of damage as you feel a bit of lava begin to seep through your skin. Like literally, you just got a lava fleck on your arm.
Oh no!
Jesus.
I already had a volcanic burn on my arm, so now I've got a lava burn on the other arm.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Scars, chicks scars, right?
Yeah.
And you quickly tumble back because you failed and did not get through the barrier. How many actions was that? I think you're done, right?
That was my second, so I'm done.
Okay. Jerome will go next. He will follow suit. He will move up. He's following you, Will, kind of doing the same thing. He will attempt a navigate roll. I have a kind of an all-purpose skill for him for all of his tracking and navigation. See if he makes it through it. Jerome could die, by the way. Jerome definitely moves through it with a 17. And you see him just look at you, and he says, before he ducks into this like cloud now of sand and smoke and gas that's beginning to just boil up in front. And he looks at you very seriously in the eyes, and he says, "I told you, not all of you will return." And he bolts into it. And that is the last you see of him for the time being.
He's gone forever?
For the time being. I literally fixed it. I was like, wait, that's going to sound ominous. That's not what I mean. Marie, your turn. You were gifted an extra action this round because of Patrick grabbing Joy Boy. So you have 2 actions.
Okay. So I will spend 1 to move.
Okay.
Actually, can I?
You need to spend them both because you're trying to push through the hazard. This hazard requires an extra movement action to get through.
Okay. Then I will do that. That's simple. I don't have to think about it.
I think that's the whole reason why Patrick gave you that. You can roll a dodge test to try to avoid some of the rocks that are falling and trying to crush you.
I need to, right? That wasn't like an optional. Like I can.
That's a freebie. I'm just giving that for free to avoid damage. Whoops, that's out of the box.
It's a free dodge test to avoid the rocks. That's a freebie. That one's on me. Just 2 points of damage on me.
You know what? Take an action. You got to take an action. Can you take an action? Oh, you can't? Okay, well, you're just going to take damage. Is that better, Steven? Do you rather me be like that? Because I can be like that. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Oh, nothing. Oh, what? Can I mute you too so you can't even argue? Oh, geez.
Okay. So I rolled. So my dodge is 35.
Oh, dear.
And I rolled a 38.
3 points.
So I have 6 luck.
Got it. 6 luck and 3 luck are basically the same.
There's no point in saving at this
That
point.
is a very good point. What really is the difference between 3 luck and 6 luck?
You can do as nothing
Spending
with 3 luck as you can do with 6.
Okay. You make it through. You slip through that wedge between these 2 buttes where the rocks are falling, and you get kind of out into like a more of a sandy area. You look up in front right in time to see Jerome disappear into this wall and this wave of sand and gas. And you see these bright explosions of red that just are muted by the wall of sand. You see Will tumble back out, grabbing his arm, shaking it, wrapping something around it, kind of in pain. And he's a little bit in front of you. Okay. After that, it is going to be Patrick's turn.
I'm right behind her, following her through the falling rocks.
All right, give me that dodge test. The free dodge test I gave for free.
Rolled a 50 is a fail for me.
Do you want to spend 19 luck to avoid a D3 worth of damage?
Oh, that's going to hurt. I'll take it.
Oh, shade.
That is a 5 on the die, which means you take 3 points of damage, Patrick. Okay.
I shield Joy Boy from the falling rocks.
Okay.
Take massive damage.
Okay. And you make it through. And again, so when you look back, you can see the rocks are falling. And you can see there, Shyma and Bev are still behind. You can see Jerome and Will have pushed forward. And then you can see shifting down this slope, there is a man in black. I'm going to use his first action to finish his movement down the slope. I'm going to roll a dodge test to try to avoid some of the shards that Shyma left behind. I will fail that, and I will take some damage. All right. My second action, I think he's just going to move up to the next node. He's literally right on the tail of Bev and Shyma, as you can see him moving up. And I'd say with the 2 of you so close now, you can see, well, I mean, it looks not unlike the figure that you saw along the side of the road. Dressed in black, these wrappings, these black wrappings here and there. You can tell he's got clear missing digits on his fingers, and you can tell that part of his leg seems to have been carved away. He has very huge chunks of scarification. You're not sure if it's the exact person or not, but it certainly looks of the type. And that is his turn. Shyma, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Shyma is going to...
Actually, you should have gone first. I'm sorry. You should have gone before him.
Oh, that's okay. It's actually better that he went first, because I would like to break his staff.
And that's why he's not going to go first, because I don't think that's fair. So you're going to go first. We're going to keep in order.
Okay, then I'd like to move back one spot and that same thing.
Okay, you move back one spot. That's one action.
Yep.
Okay. Then second action, you're going to attempt to break his staff. Remember, you can. Okay, go ahead and do that. Give me an action for that. It'd be a brawl. It's going to be contested.
And that will be an ability.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh no. This is
You just ran back into like at least 11 people, and you're reaching out to try to grab the staff.
Shyma.
She is her mania and general overconfidence. And
okay. You rolled a regular success that does not beat his hard success. And so as you lunge to try to grab his staff away, he surprisingly deftly moves, and it almost seems like he dematerializes for a second and then rematerializes, as if like a bit of gust, like a gust of wind just shifts him and moves him. And you realize you are now getting surrounded by men with spears. What would you like to do next?
I'd like to try to run back.
Okay. You can do that. So you move. Okay. And you race back towards where Bev is. Now it is the emissary's turn.
No, never mind.
Okay. So the emissary will then do the thing that I said he did. And so he will catch up, basically. Then the cultists will go. The two swarms of them. The first one will move up with their first action. With their second action, they will surround Shyma and they will attack Shyma. Each one of them will attempt a fighting test with their spear. You are allowed to react to this even if you've taken other actions. Okay. First attack. Okay. Fighting back or dodging?
May I try dodging, please?
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
And that's the penalty.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just saying it out loud so I don't forget. So I'm sorry.
No, I appreciate that.
83 regular success.
Okay. You dodge out of the way of the first one's stab. The second one will then attack you, and now they get a bonus die on their attacks.
Okay. Did I use up my action, or
you can continue? You can continue every time you get attacked. You can react. Absolutely.
Okay.
They have these spears. I think they're called assegai. Like you might have seen them before. They're pretty cool looking.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Do I get 2 penalty die?
No, it doesn't grow. It's just the one for your brand. Yeah.
Okay. That's a 33 under 84 this time.
Okay, that will not beat their extreme success on their attack unless you spent luck,
which
would need to be
17.
You need to spend 17 luck.
No, I'm not going to. I'm just gonna take it.
Okay. All right. So let me roll some damage. They're going to get a lot of damage on you in a second. One sec.
Oh my
they
goodness.
rolled an extreme success.
The point was to buy all of your time, and like that's happening. So Shar at least feels very good about these choices.
Heroic sacrifice.
They're using spears, which are penetrating weapons. Extreme success when attacking with a penetrating weapon automatically does maximum damage, plus maximum DB if it has any, and an extra damage roll for the weapon. So the weapon's got a D8, so it's automatically doing 9 plus another D8. It's dealing you 14 points of damage, Shyma, as the second one comes rushing in and lunges forward with its spear.
That is over half. So I take.
You need to roll a constitution test to see if you stay conscious.
Is that at a penalty?
I don't think so. Not for this one. This is just your ability to stay awake. This is less about physical manipulation of anything.
Okay. Success with the 6.
Excellent. Okay, so you stay conscious. For the third one who comes rushing in.
You said 4. I'm sorry, before we do that, 14 is what
14 points of damage. Okay. The third one will come rushing in and will attempt to attack again. You can respond. You do have a major wound now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I try and dodge again?
Yes, absolutely.
Fuck, I think I may
It's okay.
have...
It automatically wanted you to make another con. Don't worry, you're fine. You've already passed your contest.
Okay. Sorry, dodge roll. And that's a penalty. And that is a success with an 81.
Okay, dodge is good. This time around, I rolled a success, but only a regular. So your regular success beats its regular success. The fourth one of those will come in and will make an attack on you again.
Okay. So, just narratively, like, she would normally just, like, fight back, but I'm kind of thinking of, like, her having a smidge more, like, caution with the amputated hand and dodging and
stuff.
Okay.
Definitely makes sense.
Yes, the caution that stopped you from running into a group full.
Listen, there is a full action now that they're not going to attack you all, so I'm not even a little bit sorry. 26 under.
Your hard success will beat its regular success. The fourth one will come in to attack you.
Did we not just do the fourth?
I thought that was the third. Am I wrong?
Sorry, I'm keeping track of.
I thought it was third as well.
Yeah, I thought it was the third. Okay, so this is the fourth one.
Thank you.
Okay. You can dodge, you can fight back, whatever you like.
Push again. Again, penalty. And that is 87 fail over 84. Would spending luck get me a success?
Yes, it would get you a success. Yes. Do you want to spend the luck?
I will.
Okay. You managed to dodge out of the way of the fourth one. The fifth one will come in now to stab you. As you are now being charged.
That's too many ones, Jeff.
Okay. I have 5 more after this, which is the fun thing.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh my goodness.
Okay. As you begin to get surrounded now by 5 of these, or just kind of stabbing at you, what do you do?
I'm gonna dodge all of them. Do you want just like 5 dodge checks?
No. We're doing one of this at a time. This is the 5th of the first group that just surrounded you. So just go ahead and roll your dodge for that.
Okay. Okay. That's a 29 under 84.
Okay, excellent. So you will dodge that one. Okay. The next group comes in with 1 action. And with the second action, they will start to attack you. As some of them are throwing their spears, some of them are like stabbing you, some of them are lunging at you, some of them are considering going for Bev, who's just a handful of steps in front of you, trying to carefully navigate this crevice between this rock wall. And first one. First of 5. Out of the box. Okay. Go ahead and roll your dodge.
Oh, the 56 under 84.
Okay, that is not good enough this time, as I have a hard success. So I'm going to roll my damage. This time it's going to just be 3 points of damage. All right. The next of this swarm is they are all just like stabbing, tumbling out of the way, stabbing, tumbling out of the way, and you realize almost like you're a lion that's being surrounded by hunters at this point, and they're all kind of jabbing at you in this different grouping. Okay, here we go. Okay, go ahead and roll your dodge.
Sorry, things take a second. 5,784.
That is not good enough again, as I got another hard success. So my hard success will beat your regular.
I'm not going to spend the luck this time.
All right. You're going to take 7 points of damage this time.
And I am unconscious.
And dying. Since you have a major wound already, you are now dying, which means you're going to be making tests every round when it comes around to you. Yeah.
So sorry to interrupt this then. Do I go to -2 or is it just 0?
It doesn't matter. Just go to 0. Yeah, you're at 0. There's no negative.
Okay.
So basically, the character immediately falls unconscious, which you are. You make a con roll at the end of the next round and every round thereafter. If one of those con rolls fails, you die immediately. Only the first aid skill can be used to stabilize a dying character. Medicine can't be used to stabilize. A successful first aid will grant you 1 temp HP, but this has to then be followed with a medicine skill roll within an hour, etc. Okay.
Can I use my 20 luck for that 6d6 health? Is that something I can do even though I'm at 0?
I don't remember. I think the timing of that is at any time, right?
That's the thing. I don't know if I have to be conscious to use it or if I can't use it now that I'm.
No, I think you can use it. I think because it says you can use it at any time. Yeah.
Sweet. So then in that case, I'm gonna see what so I'm at 2 fucking hit points now.
Okay, so you use it now, and so they see you fall, but at the same time, they see you moving, and so the next one will come in and will stab at you. So go ahead and roll your dodge.
How much of this can we all see, by the way, with all of everything in the environment?
Can see all of it. I would say
Bev is screaming. You guys can hear Beverly is screaming that they're killing Shyma. They're killing her.
And they're killing her faster because I feel 94.
Oh no.
Yeah, I got a regular success, so I'm gonna do more damage. 6 points of damage this time.
And this time I'm dying for real.
Okay. Which means there are 2 more left who are gonna race after Bev. But because Bev, you had been making progress towards the next one, so you were kind of a half note ahead. I'm going to say they're not going to attack you this turn, but they're going to get right up on your biz effectively. So there's a couple of them who are right there as the others are just stabbing down at Shyma as she's rolling around on the ground. Okay. And then it becomes your turn, Bev, as you just saw all of that happen.
Jesus Christ.
He's not here right now.
No, he's not.
Someone else is.
I think Bev would love to, with all of her heart, be able to. She's one person against 11, and she's already injured, and I think she is going to run, even though it's going to hurt her forever.
Okay.
Don't let it be in vain. Please run.
No, she's running.
Okay. So you spend your first action to bypass the hazard. You have a second action now. You are caught up to where both Patrick and Marie are. You can see Will is wrapping up a wound. You don't see Jerome. You see this storm front basically of sand and dirt and smoke and these explosions, these spouts of volcanic volcanic lava. You have one action left. You can try to rush into that field and make a check to see if you can navigate it the way that Jerome has done, or you can do something else. And you know that there are, there's warriors behind you. I mean, like they have spears. Yeah. They look very capable and they know what they're doing. So it's up to you.
Yeah. So Bev kind of catches up with you all, and she's just babbling about how they've just stabbed Shyma to death and that Shyma's dead. And she's clearly freaking out. And I think, I don't know if she's actually like rushing in, but I definitely would like to use like maybe like natural world or something to try and find a path or like spot hidden to maybe follow where like Jerome went or something.
I like the natural world one a little better than spot hidden, because I think if you're trying to follow Jerome, I would probably.
I think I was too distracted. Oh yeah, and I think I was honestly too distracted by Shyma to follow where Jerome went.
For sure. I like the natural world. You're just sort of relying back on your studies, right? Like you're reading your studies, like when panicking. We'll do a sand. Don't forget, we're going to do a sand roll for you later, as you just saw this horrific thing happen to Shyma, but we're not going to worry about it right this second.
Sand roll incoming. Okay, so I don't forget. Okay, so natural world. That is my target's 40 because of the thing. Oh
as God, a fail.
86. That's a fail.
86. Do you have 36 luck? I'm not even asking that as a joke. I'm asking that like.
No, I have. I got 12 today. I had nothing. Right.
You're going to take some damage then, unfortunately. Bev, it's a die roll, so you could get lucky. And you did 2 points as you get grazed by a streak of lava. Maybe, I mean, you can describe where it is. It's going to literally create a horrific burn scar wherever it hits, but you can describe it. It's a very small speck somewhere, but you get hit. Maybe it burns through your skin, or it burns through your clothes and hits your skin. Okay.
Yeah, maybe along her collarbone.
Okay. I like
just for bookkeeping, how many hit points does that leave?
Well, considering I started with 6 today, I am down to 3. But that wasn't half of my health in one move, though. So I'm not unconscious.
You're okay. All right. Top of the round. Will, you hear Bev babbling about them killing Shyma. Like she's like screaming, Shyma's dead, or whatever, however Bev is phrasing it. You've just finished wrapping up like this horrific burn scar now, like the second one you get. You know that Jerome plunged through and is probably through. You can see that behind you, Marie and Patrick have cleared that kind of chasm where the rocks were falling. What would you like to do, man?
I think Will he heard Jerome say that not all of you are going to make it, and then the next thing he hears is Beverly babbling about Shyma dying. He's going to think that Jerome is somehow a psychic, and he's going to try and push through the volcano again.
Okay. You can go ahead and tell me which skill you would like to take.
Yeah. So I would like, I saw Jerome using Navigate, and I feel like Jerome is a bit smarter than the rest of us because he's in the lead.
Me. Yeah.
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 So I'd like to go Navigate if I can.
Okay.
I rolled a 97.
Is that a critical fail?
60. So I think because it's over 50, it's not, right?
Because that was going to be max damage.
It would have been a critical
on
fail.
The die roll. Okay. All right. I don't
have the luck spend to turn it into a success.
Okay. You fail your first attempt. Okay. Oh dear, buddy. As you're effective, because again, this is a barrier. That's 3 points of damage to you. As you just like gas is starting to, you're losing your breath. You still have 2 actions, so you can continue to take them. And don't forget, for those of you, you still have 1 more action, I should say.
I could have used a bonus.
Yes, you could. Because I just reminded you now. Everybody else knows, but remember that if you have more than 1 action, you can expend one of those to get a bonus die on whatever skill roll you're going to make. Don't forget that.
I wouldn't have done it anyway, so it wouldn't have changed anything.
You can just try again. You can literally just try again. It just means you are subjecting yourself to the damage a second time, whereas the first time, that's the only difference. If you pass, you're
my
fine.
HP's getting low, but I'm doing okay for now.
Okay.
I'm not dead, so that's something. Okay, so that's an 86 over 60. I still don't have enough luck to do this. So Will is just struggling here. Like every time he goes, like the timing is just off. There's another geyser that blasts up. 4. Okay.
4 points of damage now.
Yeah.
This is
every time he goes,
the gas and everything.
Yeah. In the wrong spot every time.
You're just like racing around in the smoke. You're just screaming, Jerome, like looking for anything. As you're just kind of calling out, you occasionally see a figure in the shadows. You're not sure if it's him. You're not sure if it's your imagination. But you are stuck in this volcanic field.
Maybe that first bit of damage, like it burned my eyes a little bit, so I can't see as well anyways.
All right. Jerome made it through because Jerome's the man. I'm going to expend his first action to have him like plant a marker or something to give you all help to get through. So let me expend an action. I'm going to do a survival test for him. It's out of the box. Okay. So what this means is anybody attempting to get through the volcanic barrier, you will get a bonus die because he has like kind of set up like some kind of, he's got like a torch or something and he's like waving it and calling and he's waiting there for you all. So he's calling back. He's like, Mr. Sawyer, Miss Wynn, Joy Boy. He's calling back through the smoke.
Aww.
And Marie, it is your turn. Bev bolted past you in a panic. You can see that Will disappeared into the smoke. You've lost sight of him, but you can maybe hear his screams. You look back over your shoulder through the rocks that are falling through the chasm. You can see Shyma has been surrounded. You can't even see her anymore at this point by the sheer number of people that have surrounded her. What would you like to do? You have one action.
I would say that for flavor, Marie would sort of turn around at this scene that she sees, and there's so many bodies there she can barely even see what's happening. But she did hear what Beverly said, and so she'll kind of just put her mouth, her hands to her mouth and up to the air. We will live, Miss Oberon. We will. And she'll kind of just close her eyes for a second, turn around, and do her best to run after Dr. K.
So it's just whatever test you think it is to navigate this. You can pitch a skill. I don't have one in particular. I could throw a couple of ideas, but whatever you do, if it could benefit from hearing Jerome and from seeing like Jerome trying to signal you all to get through this eruption in front of you.
I would love to pitch Spot Hidden.
I'll take Spot Hidden because this time I'll take Spot Hidden because it's less about tracking him and more about seeing a signal that he has kind of created. Okay. And hear his voice. If you pass, you get through. You still take damage, but you would get through basically.
That is a 13 under 72, which is an extreme success.
Okay. You're going to push through this barrier and you come rushing past somehow in one try what Will has tried 3 times now to get through. And you come stumbling through the other side and like into the arms of Jerome, who gets you. I have you, Miss Wynn. Where are the others? As he's calling out to you. And you can tell he's like panicked and he's looking. You do just from, not so much from the lava hitting you, but just like rushing through the gas and the smoke and everything. You take 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay, so that was Marie. Patrick, it is your turn. You have 2 actions. You can see everything that I just told Marie. You have the same sight of. What's Patrick doing?
If I can do the Spot Hidden as well, or even listen to hear their voices calling out.
Okay, either one of those is fine.
I'll do listen because I have more points in it.
I like it. He's calling your name. He's calling out. He's like, Mr. Price, Dr. Key, Shyma.
35 is a regular.
The regular is still going to get you through. And so with your first action, you make it through the barrier effectively. And don't forget, you also could have spent your, what's it called as well? See how, it's good for you. 2 points. 2 points again as you just sort of push through the smoke, coughing, etc. All right. So anything else you're doing?
Yeah, I have another action, right?
Yes.
So I can even start continuing to the next one.
Absolutely. And so you kind of race forward. Jerome was like, I will stay. Go. Okay. So you start pushing forward, and you realize that like once you break through this like kind of like smoky volcanic field that had been destabilized by whatever the hell it is that Castor did behind you, you realize like the ground begins to stabilize. The tremors are not beneath your feet. It's still dangerous terrain, but compared to the what you've been through, it is like you feel a sudden freedom and capability of just running. It's just the normal landscape you're contending with now. Even the wind has somewhat died down as you seem to have gotten past him. Okay, so that was Patrick. Now we come to Shyma's Constitution test. So Shyma, give us that Constitution test.
Okay. Is that at a penalty?
No, this is again like I think with the amputation, it's more just about like manipulation. So if you're trying to like dodge or like melee, I'm thinking you're using it. But when in the case of just like, do you have the stamina to stay alive? I don't think it comes into play here.
Okay. Did it show for you? It's sputtering for me.
36. You have passed. You remain with us for now. Okay. Emissary will go next. Emissary will spend the 2 actions it takes to get through the hazard, and will attempt to roll their dodge to avoid the rocks. Okay, looks okay. I am going to say that the Bev, you go last. That's right, because their combat's higher than you. That's why. Sorry.
Yep.
Okay. The one that had already started to chase after you is going to finish their first action to get through the hazard, and then for the second action, is going to plunge into like the smoke in the field itself, and is to see if they can get through. So they're going to attempt to move through it. This could also put them into potential contact with Bev and Will, who are currently navigating that field. They're going to use... Yeah, they're just going to use their survival. Okay. They do not appear next to Jerome or Marie as you hear the sounds of them shouting out to one another. Will, Bev, inside of the smoke, you start to hear other voices that are not Jerome's. They're not Marie's. They're not Patrick's. They're Beverly's. They sound... It's a different language that's being shouted out towards. Some of it you can hear when it's shouted, like there's these tails to the end of it, that sibilance that you've heard before, the S's that are kind of hard and cutting. You hear that as well as you realize you are in this field with them as they failed their test, actually. The second one I'm going to say stays. I am going to have... I'm going to have some of the second group stay behind with Shyma. So I'm going to deplete that token. Tokens are only there so I don't have to move like 50,000 tokens, right? But there are those numbers. I'm going to have 2 stay behind, and so the second grouping is going to have 3 in it. And so they're going to spend their 2 actions to push through the hazard to catch up with the emissary, and they will actually take damage from the rocks because they're idiots. Okay. All right. Technically, I should roll that for all 3. Only one of them passes. Only one of them passes. The other two like have rocks falling in their heads, and they're probably looking at when they catch up to the emissary, and they're like, "Seriously?" Okay. Bev,
stop it while we were on.
Bev, you have 2 actions. Remember that you've got Jerome calling you and kind of motioning you all forward. You're going to get a bonus die with what you're doing. So as long as you're building off of that, you could always expend the second action if you want, but you also now hear voices of other people in the smoke with you.
Yeah. Looking at what I have available to me, I would like to try the spot hidden with Jerome assist.
I'll take it. Same thing that Marie did, and that Patrick listened, but yeah, go for it.
And then again, so my goal is 54. All this.
He's not he would be alive. Yeah, he'd be alive.
Ooh.
Abhotep.
That's a 3 with Jerome assist.
Oh my god.
Was it supposed to be an extra die like that or no? Or was that 10%?
You had it perfect. Nope, you're good. He gave you a bonus die because he's helped. I expended his actions to stay back with you to give you guys a bonus die is effectively what I did with him. So you move up with your first action, you catch up, you see Marie, you see Jerome, you can see in the distance Patrick is already trying to trailblaze a movement forward. You have 1 action left, Bev. Do you follow Patrick? Do you linger past? You see Shyma's not here, but you know why. Will has not yet emerged from this smoky volcanic cloud. What do you do, Bev?
I think kind of at this point she's just panicked, and I know I haven't done the sand roll yet, but she's definitely just running. But as she runs, she says they're in the smoke. Will is in the smoke. He's coming. The signal is great. Thank you. But as soon as he's here, we have to extinguish it so they can't follow. Or no. Could I expend my turn to try and make some sort of like never mind. I'm too low for that. I'm not fucking around. I'm running.
Okay.
Let's be realistic.
Right. I like the thought. That's good. Okay, so you race after Patrick. So you and Patrick are now up in front. You've put some distance. Okay. We go back to the top of the round. Will, it is your turn. You are caught still in this field. You hear the sounds of other voices, but you also hear the sounds of Jerome calling you forward. He's like, Mr. Sawyer, this way. And he's yelling, and he at a voice, like he's usually a very soft-spoken man, but he's shouting and you can hear him. What do you do, Will?
Oh, I'm so tempted to do something, but I know that's risky. I'm gonna listen to Jerome.
If we TPK tonight, we're playing different game next week. That's all I'm saying.
Jerome is my best friend, so if he's calling for me, I wouldn't want to let him down. Would that be like navigate, or does it spot hidden?
I think you can, whatever you think is your best role in this case, you may take it, because I think navigate for is fine. Spot hidden is fine because you're looking for.
And I get a bonus die for him helping still.
Yes, because he's helping, because he expended his actions, and it's only until his turn goes, because he's probably going to want to run on his turn, but he stayed behind to help you guys.
So 4th try is the charm.
Here you go, boy.
You got this.
You get this. Jinx.
Ooh, that. Wait. Call of Cthulhu goes to 100, doesn't it?
But it was a bonus die.
You're playing Mothership all of a sudden? We haven't played Mothership in like over a year.
Though.
I was thinking a 0 was like an automatic success. I rolled a 0 on my bonus die, a 90 on my regular die, and then a 0 on my other one. So with the bonus die, I still get a 90.
A 90 is
you rolled a 90 and 100.
It would have been a critical fail without the bonus die.
What
I was so
the
excited
hell?
seeing all those zeros.
You take one more point of damage. You have a second action.
Okay, I'm gonna do what I was originally thinking would be the better thing to do. I want to as soon as like a geyser comes up, I want to try and drop into like a crevice or a rocky outcropping and go into a fetal position and hide and hope that they all pass me.
You're gonna hide? Okay, you're not gonna get a bonus die or any from him for this. Like, he's not helping you with this.
Yeah, I
just want to point out to you,
both my actions to hide in the first place.
I hear what you're saying. I just want to throw this out at you. What I'm saying is like the ground itself is spouting and breaking, and so you have no belief that wherever it is that you're hiding is suddenly going to erupt. This is.
I'm just trying not to do the same
a natural eruption. Just so everybody knows, like this is.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a volcanic area, but they're like clearly they did something to push this.
Do you want the cinematic moment of us seeing Will's melting body getting shot up from the ground?
I've failed at this roll 5 times. I'm sorry that I'm gunshot.
You have to succeed.
4 times. Okay.
You have to succeed.
We'll try one more time.
Okay.
You can't possibly roll a 90 and 100 again.
Yeah.
All right, so I rolled an 80 on my regular with the bonus die that drops it down to 60. My navigate is a 60. So
there you go.
Literally the highest I could have rolled.
Finally.
Why is this such a struggle?
I don't understand why you didn't roll language American, which apparently you have at 100. That would have been perfect.
That's not how that works. That's not how that works.
Okay. All right, you are finally through. You're finally through.
He'll catch up with me on this next turn.
He's like, what took you so long? Where is Shyma? He says to you, because it's his turn.
I don't know.
He looks into the smoke. He hears the shouts. I told you, not all of you make it out. We must hurry. And then he will go. And he's going to race forward with his action. He's going to... you know what? Yeah, he'll race forward with his action. His first action. He gets his second one. And he will... Yeah, he's just going to trailblaze. That's his job. He's just going to move forward.
Oh, that's where we going to Rome. What's the way?
And he like, where you were headed was like this wide open flat field. And he's just like, no. Saltgrass, this way. And he kind of points in a different direction. And you know that when he mentions that, that's the type of flat ground that has the potential to collapse beneath your feet. And so he starts directing you into a slightly more rocky route, but probably safer from that. And so he leads. All right, Marie, it is your turn. You have one action. You are through that kind of volcanic field, however. What do you do?
And she's just going to look at Will. Are you finally through? We must hurry. We must hurry.
Go.
Don't have to tell me twice. And Marie is going to run ahead and try to catch up with Jerome and Bev and Patrick.
Got it. Okay, you are through. And you have caught up to Bev. You've caught up to Patrick. You can see Jerome beginning to kind of crest up this little ridge line and around this mountain, steering clear of the flat land. And he's like motioning the three of you forward. We come to Patrick's turn. Patrick, you look behind. You can see Will finally emerges from the smoke. He's still a little bit of the ways behind you. Shyma hasn't emerged. According to Bev, she's gone. You're here. You know they're still coming, though. You know they're still chasing after you. You have two actions. You can see the direction clearly that Jerome went. What do you want to do with those?
We'll give an extra one to Marie. Marie, catch up with them. I'm right behind you. Okay. And I'll move one myself.
Okay.
Thank you.
I will allow it. So if that's the case, do you think you just like heroically like pick her up and then just like race up this section that she's just struggling? Like, what does it look like as you help her?
Okay, yeah, the heavy hill. I'll help her up it quick, drop her off, catch my breath. I'm right behind you.
Give me a luck test, Patrick.
For me? Okay, yeah. I do still have that penalty, I believe.
For which?
You gave me it.
Because you desecrated the grave, but that cancels with the charm that you were given. So it's just you're rolling it flat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
42 is a success.
All right. The mouth does not use this opportunity to take a bite out of Marie as you pick her up and you move her up this vertical hillside and kind of drop her down right next to Jerome where she can start moving again without penalty. Okay. Emissary's turn. Emissary is going to attempt to move through the volcanic barrier. It's going to attempt to use its survival. God dang it. That's a failure.
Hey, don't feel bad, buddy. It's really hard to get through there.
Yeah. All right, I just took some damage. Second attempt to get through. It will get through the second, and you see it pushing through, and you see this scrawny, black cloaked. The cloak is burning in some places. You can see their skin seems to have been singed in some places. The smoke that you were coughing on, Will, doesn't even seem to have affected it, as he is breathing just fine. And he sees you, and he gives you this smile. And as he does so, his mouth goes wide, and you realize like his tongue, in some cases, has been like split, and like a chunk of it is missing. And then it's his turn. Shyma, go ahead and roll your Constitution test.
Nope. Right.
None of you can see what's going on. Okay.
That is a 60 success under 70.
Excellent. Then it's going to be the cultist's turn. The one out in front, they're going to expend both of their actions to get a bonus die on this to make sure they get through. So I'm going to do my survival test to get through. 25, that'll get them through. And now you see, Will, you're quickly getting surrounded. The second one will do the same, and will expend their actions to get through. Get a bonus die. 22. So they push through. Will, you can see they're emerging from this smoky haze, and you suddenly find yourself nearly surrounded the way that Shyma was. And Bev, it is your turn. And you look back, and you can see exactly what happened to Shyma is now happening to Will. What do you do, Bev?
Oh
You have a grenade on you?
Fucking God. No, I don't have shit. I don't have nothing.
You have a major wound. You keep running.
You keep running.
Yeah. Yeah.
You take a note that Patrick helped Marie and not you, even though you're the one with the broken arm.
And he's still in like the lava minefield, or like too close.
I did get to the edge of it now. Or
Yeah,
he did get through it.
Yeah, he's through it. They're all through it. He's ahead of them, like so to speak, but they're essentially on the same node now.
He's young. He can run fast.
Will does run.
Actions.
I mean, she is running because realistically, I don't know what the fuck I can do to help.
Don't forget, one of the things you can do is you can try to create a hazard. You can make an action to try to create a hazard. You can try to throw them off the scent somehow. You have actions that you can potentially take to try to conjure something. So that's an option. Effectively what he did with a spell to create the volcanic barrier.
Yeah, I'll try and make a hazard here at 6 and then run to 7.
Okay. What do you think you would be using? What do you want to use? You got to do a skill roll for this. So you could do you could do natural world again if that's your preference. You could do something else.
Well, no, I don't know anything about the Dalal people, actually. I was going to say, if there's an effigy or something I could make that would frighten them away from this area. But no, that doesn't make sense. I'll probably do a natural world test to just find maybe a salt crust or something and weaken it so that or break them open so that they have to try and jump over it or something.
I like it. Go for it. Natural world. And you guys aren't really using those boosts anymore. What's going on?
Shooting for 40. Got a 5.
Look at you.
Hell yes.
That is going to then be, since you got an extreme success, I'm going to make that an extreme hazard. Because there's different tiers of hazards, just so everybody knows. So I'm going to remember the difference. There's different degrees of them. There's a regular, and so it's just the required level of success to overcome it. So essentially, they're going to need an extreme success to overcome the hazard that you've put in front of them. And remember that a hazard is different from a barrier. So effectively, like, it's the type of thing where like they're going to suffer damage from this more than likely, and it's also going to, depending on how they do on their test, that could deplete them of actions, of movement actions.
Would it take like my other turn to like make a signal or something for Will to avoid this hazard, or?
I will allow Will.
Wasn't expecting it to make a hell of a lot more difficult for Will to get through. I'll
allow Will a spot hidden to see if he noticed you doing something, because they're more focused on Will. Will might be looking up and trying to follow the rest of you. So I'll allow him a spot hidden, and then if not, he's going to have to face the hazard as well. And you might have just killed him.
Do what you want to do.
Already killed Shyma, so
I think you should spend one action.
No, you didn't. You didn't kill Shyma.
No, you didn't.
I'm running forward.
Okay. All right. So
I was muted, but you did not kill Shyma. Let's be very clear.
No, but I'm saying that in the sense of like, Bev's the reason. I mean, I know you made your character, but like, she inducted you into this situation, kind of thing.
Sure.
Second, Bev's guilt says things that are untrue.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Top of the round. Will, it is your turn. Will, you're on the same node. You're surrounded by them. Yeah, give me a spot hidden.
Oh, why am I rolling so awful? So that's an 83 over 45.
Get new dice. A new set is needed.
You do not notice what Bev did. Are you moving up?
Yeah. With me right on the edge, I would absolutely try to move.
Okay. You need to make a test here to do something. You need to make a test here to move across. As you realize, as you start racing up the edge, like you feel the earth begin to give way beneath you, almost like it's creating a little bit of an avalanche situation. You start to stumble. What would you like to roll to try to avoid this?
I think dodge makes sense, right?
I'll take a dodge. And you need an extreme success.
I'm not getting that. All right.
I mean, you've been rolling so high lately. It's at some point your luck has to turn.
It's got to balance somehow.
35. Okay, so I needed a 10.
25?
I have 23 luck. I can't quite spend it.
23?
Don't have quite enough.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going down. Going into the hole.
All right. So you are going to collapse as the slope comes down. Essentially, you tumble down and you don't quite get up as the entire slope that they were on has begun to dissolve and break down. You see that flat land opens up and all of the rock begins to tumble down into it, and you nearly with it. Okay.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Jerome is up next.
Well, I still have one more action to use, though. Does that count for anything?
Why don't you spend both of them to get the bonus die?
Because I was getting a 10. There's no way I'm getting a 10.
But you have to get through it.
How much damage do I take for falling in there, or is it just a slow thing?
Double check my rules here really fast. So it's so a hazard doesn't so a hazard loses 1d3 movement actions and you take possible damage. So you're going to lose.
You lose the other movement action.
You're going to lose 2 movement actions. And I think how we've described it, I do think it's fair to say you take damage from this. But you only take 2 points of damage. So 2 points of damage and 2 movement actions. So essentially you need 1 more movement action to make it through. Because you moved to the next node. As you were trying to bypass it, you collapsed. You're expending that other action to do so. Your next turn, you're going to have to spend 1 action to finish getting your way through the hazard. That makes sense?
But to be fair, no one's going to want to jump down in there after me, right? Like,
We'll see.
Okay, I'm good.
Jerome is going to go next. He's going to look at the 3 of you, and he's going to look back at Will, and he's going to see Will just cascade down the side of it. And he's just going to shake his head. And if any of you want to give him a command to do something else, let me know. Otherwise, he is going to push forward. and you can see that he is going to continue to push as far as he can, and he will wave you forward as he's essentially clearing the way. Okay. Marie, it is your turn. You've got your one action. You can see Will is going to die. Patrick.
2 because I gave her one last turn.
Oh, well, no, I had already moved her forward. So I basically gave it to her last round.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I see.
Yep.
So, because I only have the one. Like, I feel like I just have to run because, like, I can't spend that one action to do something useful because then otherwise I'm just going to fall behind. So, like, I feel like I have to use my one to run.
Fair enough.
To the next node.
Okay. So you just start booking it. Patrick, you see your friend Will start to slide down as the rocks tumble from where Bev had kind of set up a little trap. You see he's tumbling down into that flatland area. You see him get up and start moving again, so you know he's alive, but you also see that they're bearing down on him. What do you want to do?
I'll trust Will and his abilities here, and I'll keep moving forward.
Attaboy. Okay. You push forward. You just catch up with Jerome?
Yeah, if I've got all 2, I can just keep going.
Okay. All right. So you catch up with Jerome. Fair enough. All right. Then it's going to be the emissary's turn, who now has a hazard to contend with, an extreme hazard, as they're trying to move up this mini avalanche of a slope that's essentially tumbling down into this like a salt crusted land that is breaking almost like a frozen lake would break. All right, I'm going to I'll attempt I'll attempt I guess I'll just attempt a dodge test. Yeah. All right. I'm going to I'll expend my other, since I need to get an extreme and it looks terrible, I'm going to expend my other action to roll with a bonus die. I shit you not. I roll an extreme success. All right. So he will.
Have the time for that, Jeff.
He very carefully, you can see as he studies and he looks, and like you can, there are times in which like the wind starts to swirl in strange ways, like some of the rocks begin to move this way or that. And he very carefully and deftly moves and jumps and moves and jumps until he is at the peak of this ridge and has gotten through it. He's out of action, so I can't do anything to affect Will, but he has bypassed this hazard. Shyma, you can roll a Constitution test if you'd like. It's up to you if you want to keep rolling them or not. At this point, no one can see you, but two were left behind with you. I will say that. The rest of you see this, by the way.
Between her bleeding out and the 2 cultists with her, it really doesn't feel like she's gonna make it out of this life. So I'm okay to stop rolling contests if that's comfortable for you.
I'm cool with it. Yeah, I just want to make sure it's all right with you.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
So the fate of Shyma is unknown. As we now move to the cultists, who will go next. And I think they're both going to do the exact same thing that the emissary did and try to carefully move up the path. Get that bonus die. First one will fail, much like Will, and they will take 3 points of damage. Technically, I guess I should be rolling for all of them, but that seems like it's going to take forever, so I'm just going to say they all fail and they all take 3 damage.
That works.
So they do not bypass. They are essentially at the bottom of this ridge, kind of tumbling around as Will gets to his feet. The second group, this is a smaller group. This is the group where 2 of them stayed behind to take care of Shyma, whatever that means. They will pass, actually.
That means.
So the group of 3 will pass, and they will continue to move. And Bev, you see this as the emissary and 3 of these warriors make it past your trap You can see others have tumbled down to the ground and are surrounding Will. Unfortunately, Bev, you keep being the one in the back who can see all this. But it is your turn. Yeah, it is your turn.
Again, even though it's not 11 people now, like she hasn't stopped to like count them, but she still sees that it's like a group of people. And Patrick and Marie didn't stay behind with her, and Jerome, they all kept pushing, and so I think she's just gonna follow suit, and I'm gonna do 2 moves.
Okay, that is totally fair.
Sorry, Will. I don't have a gun or anything.
You don't have a gun?
I'd rather you not put another pit in front of me, so I'm good with this.
I
Will's
should
like
have
if you
role
shot
played.
back into them, you shoot Will anyway.
Yeah, I should have like role played that I purchased another one after I lost my first one, but I never did, so I just didn't count him.
We didn't have to role play. Like I think you're going into a very dangerous place. You having a gun, it seems perfectly reasonable thing to acquire. Like people were wearing them on their hips and slung over their shoulders when moving around in Djibouti City. So like, it's not an uncommon thing. The only time where it was kind of weird to have them was when you got into Saborimo and Kululi, where like they needed to be seen. Like if they were hidden, like beneath a jacket or something like that, they didn't like that. Yeah. All right. We come to Will. Will, you have to expend 1 movement action to just get to this node. All you have to do is spend 1 more. That's how much you were penalized, effectively.
All right, so I've got 1 left then.
Yeah, so you basically make it up the ridge. You see the emissary. You see 3 of these warriors who begin charging at you. You have 1 action.
It's a fairly clear path ahead, right?
Yes.
They haven't been hitting barriers or hazards.
They have not.
Which makes me think I would not be able to outrun them here, because we're all on the same node. We all have the same amount of actions. I would like to, now that there's not lava erupting from the ground, I would like to go back to my hide idea, I'm thinking. And with like this ridge where there's like, we already like had me fall down like a pit or a like avalanche. I would like to specifically look for another salt crest or something like that. Preferably one that like if I go down and I tumble under it, like I might be covered with sand or something like that and just bury myself temporarily, something along those lines.
I want to let you know, though, that the hide action, though, the difficulty of it is directly connected to the distance you have from the people you're hiding from. You're on the same node with the emissary and 3 of these warriors. So you're trying to hide while on the same node. It's not, you can totally make the roll. You absolutely can. I'm just saying the difficulty is going to be much higher than you might be comfortable with.
Just run to us. Run to us.
But I have 1 action. So if just talking out the logic for why I'm doing this, if I run forward 1 node, I'm going to be out in the open and they'll be able to take hits on me. And I've got 1 HP. So if I fail one of those hits, I'm going down. I've lost 18 HP so far. So I think it's better for me to take the risk now and try to just hope that they pass me by.
Okay. I mean, counterpoint, if you run up, there's the chance that someone else could provide assistance, where like it's a really unlikely chance that all of the people
2 nodes
there
ahead already. I'd be 2 nodes behind them. I'd like to just try the hide. I'm not trying to be a hero here, just trying to get out.
So I'll play it this way. I'll play it this way. You make your test. You set the difficulty for their spot hidden to find you. But their spot hidden is already going to be benefited from the fact that they're in the same node as you, just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I got this. I missed my dice tray again. I'm getting nervous.
I've done that like 6 times. It was crazy. Yeah.
That's a good start, Lil. I rolled a 1, so now it's just the 10s die.
Okay, man. 91.
So I rolled an 11. Delta Green would have been a crit success. So let me look up my stealth here. Stealth
spend 3 would get you to an extreme. And 3 points gets you to an extreme.
Spending the 3. Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
So this is the first decent roll I've made all night. Someone write it down, mark the timestamp.
That's the roll to get.
So how do you flavor this? Like you're like diving, you're making it look like you continue to stumble down into the pit or like into these salt pits. What do you think?
So you said that I like climbed up the next ridge, and I assume that they're like still a little bit like down, and they're like obviously chasing me, but I'm just a few steps ahead. And I see another salt crest, and I just cannonball into it, and I just stay in this fetal position and try to let the sand cover me as best as it can.
Do you yell cannonball too, so that they can just roll a listen test? I'm just going to roll a listen test and follow that. Okay. All right. Well, Will, you have hidden as best you can, and we will see what happens when their turn comes around. Jerome is up front. Okay. All right. Jerome, he's going to move up as he's continuing to run, and I mean, he's so far ahead of them right now that I think he will start setting up a hiding place for people. He'll start looking for a place for you all to hide. And so his second action, I will spend on him trying to effectively find a stealth spot for you all to give you a bonus die. And that's his action. Marie, it is your turn. You do not see Will behind you.
Looking back and doesn't know what happened and she does know that there's one Will and there's lots of them, and she just sort of like holds her head in her hands like not again, not another, and she runs to catch up to Patrick and Dr. Key.
Okay. All right. And then it goes to Patrick's turn. You again also don't see Will behind you. He's not coming. Like Marie is bringing up the rear. There's nobody behind her. Not just you put some distance between yourselves and your adversaries as well. But it's possible they could have gotten Will, it looks like at this point, Patrick. What would you like to do?
I'll make it out. Just believe in him, and I'll continue forward.
Okay. So you catch up to Jerome with your first action. He has found kind of a crevice in one of these buttes that he wants to try to hide in. And he's kind of motioning you inside. We will not outrun them. This wind is too slow. We must go. We must get inside.
And I'll hide what he's found.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a stealth test with a bonus die as he has found a spot for you.
28 is a hard.
Okay. Did you want to spend any luck to try to make that an extreme?
Yeah, I can do 13 luck here. I'll make it extreme.
Excellent. All right. So I've got you taken care of. All right. All right. So Marie and Patrick have gone. Emissary's turn was going to look for this brash young American boy. I am going to expend his second action to get a bonus die on this. And I'm going to roll a spot hidden. I need an extreme success. Unfortunately, I don't have luck. I should get luck. Why don't I have luck? I should have luck.
To be fair, I think you said they get a bonus die because I was already in the same node with them. So I think you do have a second action.
I do have another one. Okay, so I'm going to get 2 bonus die. That's the max you can roll with. All right, so I didn't get on the first 2. Fucking same number. I have a hard success. But I
not
don't
extreme.
Okay. So he's looking around and looking. The other 3 that are with him will. I think what I'll do with them is I'll have them look once with the bonus die I get just from them being in the same area as you. Oh my god. They will critically fail. I rolled 297s, which is pretty nuts.
My eyes.
Which maybe they think that means he went this way. And so they're going to then use their second action to move to the next node, thinking that they spotted his tracks. All right. Then the second set of cultists that has been struggling, kind of buried a little bit beneath this avalanche that Bev has set up, is going to... They have to still bypass it. They haven't even bypassed it yet.
Oh, that's right.
I'll burn their second action to get a bonus die to try to climb, we'll say. All right, they make it this time. All right, so now on the same note as Will, one of them is looking for Will, is the emissary who's searching for the guy in black, looking for Will. The other cultists now have joined it, but you can see that the warriors, the one with spears, have already started chasing off, and it looks like that's what the second group is going to do as well. So it is very dicey. And Bev, when you look back, you don't see Will, but you do see hard charging in your direction, like going down one ridge, rushing up the other. You see a small group of these warriors chasing after you. They've bypassed what that could only mean, obviously, that Will has likely suffered the same fate as Shyma. All right, Bev, what do you want to do?
Okay, so I'd like to spend one to move forward. Then I want to take the bonus dice from Jerome and then my second movement dice for an additional bonus dice to roll stealth to hide? Or can I not do that?
You can't do that because you get two actions. The first action was the move. The second action is the stealth. So you're actually you're using.
I see.
The
Okay,
but you still get the bonus from Jerome helping, as he's like motioning you. He's like, in here, Dr. Key.
I'm gonna fuck this up. Just
you got this.
Fuck, where'd my stealth go? Okay, so I'm gonna be a brat and I'm gonna take 2 boosts. So we're shooting for 30.
I've killed 2 characters tonight. I'm feeling okay.
Have a bonus
3 more.
dice.
And what game we play next week? If I take out all of you, so excited. Talk about good and bad on that one.
Goodness, you had the bonus.
We weren't able to get it to you at 50, but we did at 51.
And then
thank you.
I only have 12 luck, but I'll spend the 8 for an extreme success as well.
Excellent. Okay. All right. Excellent. Top of the round. Will, you are hiding. You've done as well as you can do. Well, I guess that's not true. You technically could critically succeed. So do you just remain hiding?
Could I have spent luck to turn it into a critical success, or does that have to be rolled?
You cannot spend luck to get to a critical. The best you can spend luck to get to is an extreme. You have to roll a natural one to get a critical.
Remain hiding until it feels like the coast is clear.
Fair enough. Jerome will delay so that Marie can go first. Because you can do this, you can delay. Marie, do you race up?
Of course, yeah. My one action I spend to run up.
He will then go and he will use his 2 actions for him to stealth, and he will give you his second action to let you also stealth. So you can roll stealth with his bonus. He's waiting for you. He has given up on Will as well, unfortunately. And so
we were best friends.
He helped you out of the volcanic smoke thing.
So I'm rolling stealth, or he's rolling stealth?
Everyone's got to do it, and I'm going to take the worst, and that's who they find.
Okay. So I have a bonus dice. So I didn't have any turns left, so he's spending the one to help me.
He's spending a second action. Yeah, because he found a hiding. I spent an action, him finding a good hiding place for everybody. That's how I'm flavoring.
Well, thank freaking goodness for that. So my stealth was a 40. I rolled an 85 and a 15.
A 15
so
is
hard
what
success.
Degree? Do you want to spend luck to make that into an extreme?
Can't. I only have 3 luck left, and I'd have to spend 7.
Okay. Should get more of that.
We're running on fumes.
We really are.
Okay. The difference between you guys and Will is that you guys have gotten a really good hiding spot, and you've done it at distance from your enemy, which means they effectively will need a critical success to find you, as all of you have done so well. This is what we're going to say happens. As the 4 of you, Jerome, Marie, Bev, Patrick, you're hiding in this crevice. Like, Patrick, Bev, like as Marie comes in, Jerome will sweep around and be like, move this. And like the three of you as the like push this rock in front of it to make it look like there's no way in. And the four of you hide in the darkness now. And he's like, snuff out, no light. Quiet. And as you guys sit there, a couple minutes pass, like your heartbeats are racing. You hear the sounds of footsteps approaching, the sounds of voices outside. And they move past you. And they do not come back. And they just continue to go. Will, I'm going to give him one more chance.
Very fair.
I'm going to use all his stuff. He does not have a great spot in, unfortunately. He's the worst person for this. All right. Am I counting this right? Yeah. I swear to God, like I've had 2 hard successes now that if I could spend 2 luck, I would have an extreme success, but neither time.
So close.
Will you hear
Jeff,
the sounds?
Why do you want to kill me? Why do you want to kill me? Look how you made my voice.
I'm
playing true. I'm playing true. Okay. Play to the story, Will. You hear the sounds of footsteps. You hear the sounds of rocks tumbling. You hear the sounds of voices. And then you hear a handful of those voices begin to get further away from you, as if it's racing away. You maybe for one moment like brave like a peak, and you can see the man dressed in black is like stumbling down. He sets the staff like right above where your head is. Like that moment in Lord of the Rings, right? Where like the Nazgul's just leaning over and you're just tucking underneath this crust and you feel the thud of the staff. You hear him like utter some kind of voice. You see on the horizon like some of the wind sort of shifts and moves. And then you hear the rock move again as he starts to walk away from you. And that is where we're going to end it for tonight. And we will pick up in the aftermath next week.
We are so sad.
Oh my gosh.
Are we camping? Because that was intense.
That
Even there.
Um,
I mean,
I'm going to give you that one because you're grieving.
but the three of us think
he
that we
turns back
just
around
lost
after
2
he hears the
people.
bad joke. There's a disturbance in the force. And he looks down. There he is. Ugh, got him.
Got him.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Goodness.
What a
What pressure.
chase.
Well,
Oh, that was so good, Jeff. Oh my God.
Sorry, Shyma. I feel bad.
No,
I mean, I feel bad for you
kidding?
dying, but being removed. But I also feel bad like it happened so early, so you didn't get to do anything for like the past hour. I always feel bad when that happens.
Don't
Yeah.
feel bad about any of that. Like, there's the only special thing I would have wanted to do is make a hazard, which Bev ended up making.
Right on.
The thing I wanted to do was done. So
Yeah.
don't.
that's why I got the extraordinary success. That wasn't me rolling. That was Shyma coming through.
The ghost, the voice of Shyma in your head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will, so
Man.
glad that you did that extreme hazard.
That was dope.
Yeah, thanks,
You know-
Bev. The hell?
Interesting. Started
I
something.
was trying to help you, okay?
Mechanically, it was the right choice. Yeah. You just
Okay.
screwed me, is all.
Well, you
screwed
just
me.
couldn't get out of that one area. Like
That was
you were
such a good
just
roll.
like
It took 5 rolls.
so bad.
I mean,
That was
honestly, like, we
so
can't
bad.
blame Bev. Like, Will,
Oh, no.
you were well out in front. You were even joking about it. Like, I'm going to bravely run out in front. And then you failed all your
felt-
rolls to get through the volcanic.
Oh, man.
I felt so confident at the
Karma.
beginning. Like, I'm at front.
Yeah.
I've got 2 actions.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep pushing forward.
And you're down
Okay.
to 1 health. That's so awful.
Okay.
Was you
something
a major wound?
When you get to 1,
No major wound. Nothing gained.
No
Like
major wound.
10 at once.
He never took a chunk of it. He was just whittled down and
That's
whittled down
good.
and whittled down.
okay.
That's
It's another
good.
game where when you get to 1, you like go unconscious or something.
Yeah.
Like that's something
that-
else.
In Delta
Delta
Green, when
Green.
you go to 2 willpower,
I think
You-
Maybe that's not enough.
Delta Green
I don't
is
think
2
it's
for conscious.
damage. Yeah, I agree. I think 2 willpower, you go unconscious. I don't remember anything else. Okay. All right, well, that's it for us. Let's go ahead and do some closing plugs so we can get on out of here. So I'm going to do what I usually do. I'm going to toss it to Steven so I can say ha 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 ha, and then toss it to Maitreyi so Maitreyi can tell us where we can find her on the internet.
I am Maitreyi Games on YouTube, where I make system agnostic or multi-system content about the GM and player experience that you should check out if you feel like checking that kind of thing out.
Awesome. Links will be in descriptions, whether you're getting this on YouTube or in a podcast feed or something like that. Just check the description of the episode. You'll find everyone's links, including Steven. Where are we linking to for your wonderful game that you've made?
Yeah, it's a little website called huckleberryrpg.com. It's a Weird West game. It's coming to back cricket very soon, far too soon, stressing me out soon. It's going to be, we're going to be funding a print run. We're going to have all sorts of cool extras. We're going to have some custom dice for it. How awesome is that? Some custom dice bags. So yeah, go to huckleberryrpg.com. There's links to the back cricket. There's links to the actual PDF if you want to see how it plays. We have a free quick start if you want to see how the mechanics work for completely free. No reason not to be there right
now. Awesome. As for us, streaming schedule, next game, we've got Monday where you can see us playing through some Time Watch using the Gumshoe system, our time traveling shenanigans. Tuesday, we're doing Mystery Flesh Pit National Park, the role-playing game, which is a cipher system game. And then Thursday, we've got Swords of the Serpentine. Next Friday, we're off. And then, we'll be back with more Call of Cthulhu. And that's what we got. So I'm going to go ahead and put us on the end screen here. Then I'm going to rate us over to Dead Aussie Gamers so you can watch some Pathfinder. Have a great rest of your night and weekend. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.